Heyo, welcome to the BYB podcast. That stands for the Backyard Boys.
Backyard Boys.
And it's Monday. Boy, oh boy, we're doing it, folks. We're having it. It's happening. And we have so much happening this evening. I can't wait to tell you all about it. It's very exciting news. So many pans on the fire. But welcome, Hawk. How are you doing this evening, my brother from another mother?
You know, I'm doing well, my friend. Thank you for asking. I'm excited to be sharing the stage with my good homeboy Rochi down there. You know, I was like, what do we owe this pleasure to? It's probably because he knows more about any of the people we're going to have around tonight, more than any of us here. So that's the reason why.
No, not at all. I'm confused. It's Tuesday for me, so I don't know what Quad's talking about Monday.
Is it already tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is that what they mean by Tomorrowland? Is that what
I'm from the future.
Are you from Peter Pan? Really?
No, I'm not in Japan.
No, Peter Pan, not Japan.
I heard you say Japan. Jesus.
Who do you think you are? Stealth Chaos or something?
Yeah, can you tell I've had somebody on my mind all day? It's strange. But yeah, anyway.
What, you've been dreaming about karmics now and borderlines or Into the Sun? Like, who you been dreaming about there, buddy? I see you're wearing a Tukey shirt. I know you're obsessed with that fucking little green freak.
Now, I've been wondering what a certain fake Italian who lives in Florida has been doing all day, but you know, we don't talk about that idiot on this show. So yeah.
I mean, we can a little bit because that guy has actually been doing stuff. Did he do another stream? Like I did notice. I was strolling through Twitters, and it almost appears like maybe Joey C has done another stream since the one before that, where he promised and said that he will not be back till June 12th, but he's cutting his vacation really short. Is he desperate for money or what's up?
So he did a live yesterday, and he actually, literally, that's what he's been doing to keep the money coming in, or at least his wife has been anyway. He did a live stream yesterday where he thought he could do like some sort of Q&A. He went live an hour earlier than it was scheduled, and he got a grand total of 25 live viewers. Quad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if you noticed our view count right now, but that's exactly where we're at. So stop making fun of the guy. No, we just started, so I'm sure people are just piling on in here. They're doing it. They're having it. It's going to happen. I believe. I have faith in our audience that they can get in here. But yeah, I mean, what is the draw to a Joey C show anyway?
Wife's a whore. Can I suck your dick?
Oh, maybe that's what it is. He's offering to do things for people. Favors, maybe.
maybe that's why he come back, Quad. It's Pride Month and all. Maybe he thought, people would want to see somebody being proud and being out of the closet, if you will. Exactly, yeah.
Our buddy Kevin Brennan, yeah, he was on fire today, doing it in Chadley Zumach back on MLC, of course. You knew he wasn't going to be able to stay away from Daddy for very long, or do you think Kevin's just he's got some pity for the dude? Is that he's feeling pity for? Or do you think Kevin Brennan has a heart? Or he's kind of like the Grinch, man. He's the Grinch of the Dabbleverse. He doesn't have a heart. It grew and grew and grew, and then Chad Zumach came back on MLC. Is that like the Christmas story of the Grinch?
Hunk.
You guys aren't buying it? The heart part, or what?
I didn't see that movie. That's terrible, man. I never seen that movie. So I don't know. Was he a bastard?
God. Well, yeah, you referred to Honk, so that's what you get for fucking referring on down the line the road.
No, what's funny, Quad, is I think Brennan's probably gloating. I didn't watch MLC, so I don't know exactly what transpired, but I imagine
it is that month. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is that month, but I imagine Brennan, like deep down, is probably actually having a little chuckle to himself that Chadley's got to run back to Brennan begging for money.
I mean, we're going to get into it, folks. We got all that stuff lined up for you this evening. We're going to get into the demonetization of the Chadley Zumach. We do have Ashley Cummings. She's going to swing by and give us a report on that. Mr. Kill Everything, who is a liar, as well as Lady Doom, is going to come in for just a quick hitter between Ashley and Doom. I do think she's going to get a chance just to meet Lady Doom face to face, and they can have a couple of words, and it sounds like some apologies, and moving on with life. So after that segment, I do believe, I'm fairly certain, we're going to have one Nick Rekieta come in and kind of go over the photos and the body cam issue that has come up over there in Cuyahoga County, and talk all about why maybe the body cam was denied, and take a peek inside of Nick Rekieta's house and give our thoughts on what's going on in that house, as well as make fun of some we got some goofs on the old toe, and that's not going to be a win for the toe. I can promise you there is no wins for the toe this evening. That is the one thing I know. No one cares about it. That's fine based on a conspiracy theory. Nobody has to care about it. Dan, the man from Nice Podcast Stupid. No, there was no Chad show today. It is kind of weird that the dude can't make money and he doesn't do a show. It's almost like he doesn't do shows because he loves doing shows. It's almost because the only reason he ever did shows was to make money. Almost like, no, I guess there was a point in time when he was getting drunk every day all the time that he was going to do a podcast for free, right? But that's been many, many moons ago.
But wait, Quad, I thought Chad has always said that he's got stuff to do, right? He's got other stuff to do.
He's the busiest man in stand-up comedy.
I got stuff to do.
I got stuff to do. Yeah, he do have stuff to do, indeed. So that is quite a bit of stuff on our agenda for today. We're looking forward to it. Ashley Cummings does seem like a very reasonable, nice lady. Now that I've had to actually have a chance to talk to her, I saw her on the Jake Hudson stream the other night. I saw her on MLC the other night, and maybe we all misjudged her, and we will find out something new this evening. I do believe that is actually the case, to tell you the truth. Nick in Fort Wayne. Yeah, I did see that Chad Chad got some Venmos, PayPals, but you know what he didn't get, Nick and Fort Wayne? He didn't get any Rumble Rants, Super Chats. He didn't get any Streamlabs. He didn't get none of that. All he's going to get from now on is Venmos and PayPals until he desperately gets those fucking super tips from Daddy Melton. Do you think he's going to break down? We'll talk about that here in a bit.
We'll get through those tweets you put out, right, Quad? Also, how many? Sorry, Quad. Before you continue, how many new Patreon members did Chad get? Oh no, sorry.
Oh, sick burn, man! You're a meanie bajini there. Why you gotta be so mean, man? Why you gotta always be picking on that Charlie, the poor little feller?
It's almost like Chad deserves everything he gets. But anyway,
that's right. Brandon Deft. Brandon Deft's a good egg. Everybody go follow his channel too. He's a great clipper. I even saw that this Brandon Deft guy clipped the old Quad Father. I'm mighty fond of the Quad Father and seeing clips of myself. So everybody go follow that guy. It was funny. We were watching a video yesterday or the day Friday, and it was like someone did a screen recording, but it popped up Brandon Deft, and it said something about Pat Dixon and Quad Father. So coincidentally. But yes, everybody, if you want to donate to the show, go ahead and use supertip.gg/BYB. And if you don't know how to use the Googles, then you could always just use that QR code that Honk is pointing at there, as well as all of our other links are pinned at the top of the chat. Yeah, so we got a link tree. You can find our socials. We got a membership link there. You can become a member of BYB and check out all of our weekly double reviews. We just did one yesterday, Equal, Rochi, and myself. Mm-hmm. I think we knocked that one out of the park pretty good, buddy. But yeah, we do one of those every Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern. So if you guys don't know, now you know. Get a membership and you can have 3 extra hours of content every week on top of the freaking 9 to 12 hours we do just with our regular shows. So become a member and you can be like one of those people going across the screen right now and get a shout out on Sundays. Indeed. No. You can keep all your happy Pride Month stuff to yourself, Reverend Ray. I'm not even going to put them on screen. You know why? Because I'm not putting up with an entire month of putting rainbows on everything. Come on, man. I like rainbows. I just, I'm not gay. I mean, shit, I don't even know what I am anymore. No, I'm not gay. I'm gay. No, stop saying that. Come on, that was taken out of context long ago. I was a different person back then. I'm not that guy anymore. So, if I was having any thoughts, if I was having gay thoughts, they're gone. I promise you.
I don't want double dicks. I don't really like the double dicks thing.
No, don't clip it, Doom. Do not clip it. Do not clip that. Whatever you do. I like rainbows. No, I like rainbows. Is that like I like turtles? I like turtles.
It's funny, Quad. That's why I imagine Honk doesn't want to say anything on the show. He's frightened of being clipped. Anything he says.
Yeah,
no, I'm not concerned with that. I got to say something interesting now or crazy before you get clipped. Shit, maybe that's what my problem is. I've said nothing of value this whole time.
This sounds very gay.
True, Buckaroo. All right, back to Joey. Rochi, who is the Joey Whisperer. Can you tell us what kind of a stream that was? I didn't have time to go look at it. I just seen that there was one.
So I'll save everybody a time. It was only an hour long stream. Forgive me. First 10 minutes, he was playing a new AI song that he'd made, talking about Cupcake. He then talked about me and Cupcake for 30 odd minutes, then played the Cupcake song again, and then come back to show everybody his drawings. Yes, I did stutter when I said that word because I can't. Yeah. Well, so Quad, I was baiting Joey, and so did Starling 19, to get him to show.
You weren't masturbating him. That's fine.
No,
Go ahead.
No. We were baiting him into showing these drawings that Joey claims that he can draw. And if you go and watch the last 5 minutes of his show, I'll leave it up to you whether Joey actually did do those drawings that he's claiming that he's done, or whether he didn't or not. It was very lame. It was pathetic. He did say this though, Quad. When he comes back on September 1st, he's going to go it alone. No more Lou.
Whoa, that's breaking news.
What do you mean?
Got that breaking
got
news?
fired?
Joey alluded to the fact that he wanted to go alone. Now, if you've been watching the smaller shows in this little corner of the internet, you'll know that Lou the God's been doing shows with Cupcake and Big Huna. I think
Recently.
Yeah, I think as recently as yesterday, right? I think Joey's kind of taken offense to that.
Very interesting. Yeah, I had no idea that he was doing shows with those guys. They were doing them when? Saturday or whatever? They do Saturday show, right?
Yeah, Sunday mornings, I believe, American times and whatnot. So yeah, Joey alluded to the fact it was a throwaway line, and when questioned on it, he never brought it up again. So I assume Joey just said it on a live stream. He hasn't told Lou yet. So Lou, if you're watching, looks like you might be out of a job.
Oh, very interesting, man. Yeah, I didn't know he was a turncoat like that. I thought he was, but okay. So the rumor we just heard very recently, and I know from an inside source that someone said that he Joey made Lou sign an exclusivity contract where he said that he would not go on other people's streams. How in 1 week do you go from signing a contract to going on other shows directly violating that contract?
If Lou ever signed a contract with Joey C, Lou, forgive me,
Louis?
is a bigger mug than Joey C. Like, why would you ever sign anything with Joey C? He's a convicted liar. Like, so.
And Lou knows that. That's how desperate Lou is for friends. All right. He considers Joey C a contemporary.
Contemporary. Yes, one of his contemporaries, indeed. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, right. I don't know whether Lou signing the contract is true.
Is this the contract, or is this is this the contract that they signed, or is this Joey C's drawing?
I believe that's Joey C's drawing of what he thought his wife looked like from behind.
Well, I think someone sent in a super chat saying, "Hey, would you draw me what you think a penis looks like?" And he drew that. Isn't that what happened?
I just realized where that's from, Quad. That's Ray
DeVito. Yeah. No, just jokes, folks. Just jokes. That's Ray DeVito. Ray DeVito drew that. Someone said, "Hey, draw us a penis," and that's what Ray DeVito thinks a penis looks like.
And you got to be impressed with the emphasis put on the fucking butthole. It even had the spokes there. God damn, Ray.
Yeah, that's Ray for you, though.
You didn't see it. The butthole is halfway up the lower back. Like, that's not like, yeah. Like, where does Ray think a butthole is? Like, what the hell?
Well, yeah, that's pretty fucking high up there. I would agree, but I'm talking about the attention to detail. You see the lines there? That took a lot of creative process there, buddy.
Well, Honk, I don't know about you, but the buttholes I've seen are a bit tighter than that.
Yeah, that's an open one. What the hell? Yeah, that's right, Ray. What the hell? Are you used to seeing just wide open ones? It is Pride Month, folks. Everybody celebrate everything Ray DeVito does, including drawings. That's all I can say about that.
And ones go in your mouth. All right, they go in your mouth.
I think Ray DeVito may be confused on lots of things, and not just that. Let's be fair. Also, I would like to say there is a poll question. Obviously, I'm sure you folks have seen the poll question. The poll question for today: who is the worst alcoholic in the Dabbleverse? Your options are Chad, who's been hiding his alcoholism fairly well lately, I would say. Would you guys agree with that?
He ain't been hiding it. We all know he is.
I mean, we know he's an alcoholic, but he's only said he's drank like 2 or 3 times lately. For the most part, he hasn't admitted it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Chad was wearing the beanie and the sunglasses on a stream the other day, and that's a pretty good tell. When he's got that beanie on, lopsided on his head, he's a good snookered.
Good eye, buddy. You got a good eye right there. That is one of the giveaways that he's being a drunk again, indeed.
Well, quite. I think Mr. Cool Everything's actually been giving Chad a run for his money, right?
I would say more than a run for his money. I would say probably has just totally taken over the drunkest drunk in the Dabbleverse. Yeah. I mean, your other options, of course, are Karmic X and Ski Mask. So that is pretty fucking steep competition for Chad. Mr. Kill Everything, Ski Mask, Karmic X. I mean, those guys are all like plastered constantly. So that's probably one of the closest poll questions I've asked, because even when I made it up, I was like, damn, I don't even know who I'm voting for, and I made it up. So I would probably go with Mr. Kill Everything, but I don't want to lead anyone else where they should go with that question. So it's up to you folks.
I would say that Karmic X and Ski Mask are way more entertaining than Chad Zumach ever was. Now, I'm not going to say the same about Mr. Cool Everything, because I think he's a drunken idiot. Now, whether you find entertainment in that, that's another story. But yeah,
we could maybe even include Kevin Brennan on this, because goddamn it, every one of them weekend shows, he's 2 sheets to the wind.
But that's the thing; it's weekend. Unlike these other guys who are 7 days a week, 24/7. Like, I don't even know if they stop drinking. At least Kevin's got that. I thought about adding him in. I thought about adding Granny too. So whatever. There was a couple other ways to go with that. But I think Granny's been doing all right. And Kevin Brennan, man, he does get drunk quite a bit, but not to that level, I don't think. He's a wino. He's not like a hard alcohol guy like the rest of them.
Right.
Cupcakes Corner with American Cupcake, who is also a Ring of Honor member. Thank you, American Cupcake, for the $5. Don't you forget Joey C. Don't you forget about Joey C. Don't you make me fucking sing ever again. Is what you should not do. I can't sing. Yeah, it's your fault. So I sing, all of our fucking viewers leave. I'm blaming you at this point. That's all there is to it, dude. It's Cupcakes Corner with American Cupcake's fault. Not my fault. Not my damn fault.
Wait, Quad, are you admitting that Cupcake cleared the audience with $5?
Well, by asking me to sing, he sure the fuck did. Very rude, sir. How dare you? Yes. All right, let's get into it. We got the topics. We got Chad Zumach. God, my cursor keeps messing up, man.
You had that issue yesterday, right? Didn't it? Just like
it's still doing that. Yeah, I took a towel and scrubbed the hell out of it, but it seems to be doing it still. So, okay, we'll just do the best we can with it. It's jumping all over the place. Maybe I need to get one that has a wire connected to my computer instead of this Bluetooth shit.
Wait, God, the real question is, why is your mouse so sticky in the first place? Why did you have to dry it off?
My mouse. No comment. Okay, so I was watching a video and Ashley was talking about how, what is it, that someone researched her name. I think it was Jake. Jake Hudson said he researched her name and found her porn. And then what was it? And then she was like, yeah, she was saying something like, maybe if someone like recorded me in secret and I didn't know about it. But come to find out, Jake was just trolling her, saying that apparently there is a porn star with the name Ashley Cummings. So Jake was trolling her and saying, yeah, I found all this porn of Ashley Cummings. It was like, oh, that's not nice, Jake. Jake is a troll though at heart, to a degree.
It looks like one.
Yeah, people were lamenting the fact that MLC has not had Jake Hudson on for quite some time. They also haven't had Quadfather on for quite some time. I was watching it. Here's another one for you. There's a BYB podcast that's super chats. And I won't say that it wasn't me, but I won't say that I didn't appreciate seeing that, considering they weren't really saying that bad of stuff. And you know what I mean? It was funny. So I won't even text Kevin and be like, that wasn't me. I don't care. It was making fun of Chad. So anybody that wants to make fun of Chad, no problem.
Yeah, I think that happens quite a lot in this little corner of the internet, where
pretending to be other folks in chat rooms.
Well, at least I've heard Ray DeVito claim that there's a fake Ray DeVito going around.
What? There's a fake Ray? Yeah. That's not okay, guys. Come on. You guys need to be better eggs. Come on, guys. Pick up a pen and write a good chat. Write your own chat. Don't use an O. Come on, guys. That's messed up.
All right, let's get into it. We'll start right off today with Chad Zumach losing monetization. Is it, as it were? Yeah, it's just fun watching him on Twitter reeling from this situation, not doing well. So watching that live stream he did yesterday, he seemed like he was suicidal-ish. No, he's just super down and out. And seeing him on MLC today, same thing. He's got nothing. You know what I mean? He's bummed. I can't blame him though.
Sorry, Quad, real quick. It's funny, right? Because I don't consider myself entertaining one iota. However, Chad Zumach's supposed to be a comedian. I watched his live stream yesterday. In fact, I watched Cardiff cover that. He had nothing. He didn't have the correct information to convey to the audience. He was reacting in real time, and that's the worst thing you can do, right? Because you make yourself look like an idiot. And he's continuing to do it today with his tweets. What you're going to show now, right?
Yeah. I mean, we can go through some of them. Mm-hmm. I guess we don't have to go through all of them, but for the most part, I'll be here. Yeah. All right. What's today? The 2nd. So yeah, this is from today. So I think this is what I woke up to this morning. People have been trying to talk him into using the super tip system. Even Moody, the next tweet we'll see. It definitely was in his chat yesterday. I thought that was pretty good. Moody's been there quite a few times. I've seen people thinking about or needing something besides super chats or whatever. Moody's the guy on the scene, man. He's right there in your chat offering super tips immediately. So he's a good salesman, if nothing else. And he's right. All of these fuckers should be on super tips. Everybody in the Dabbleverse, right?
Yeah, 100% quite. It just makes logical sense. Now and again, it doesn't matter whether you like Melton or Moody or not. It just makes more sense. You get more of a cut than what YouTube's monetization will give you, and you can get the money quicker. It's just it makes logical sense.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have to be best buddies with your business partners. You can you can put that shit aside and just make some money. If he's smart, that's what he'll do. Which is kind of weird because he's been complaining about not only losing the monetization on his channel, but he was saying he doesn't have anything lined up for June for comedy gigs. Swartzen's going down to Florida. Florentine and a bunch of these other dudes have all these gigs. But for some reason, they're not asking him to come out there and open for them. So I don't know what's going on with that, man. But are his comedy buddies starting to put him on the back burner as well?
But
maybe they just like to see him go out of pocket, so he has to go to places like Denver and whatever, and it costs him a lot of. I think they're fucking trolling him. Wouldn't they, if they were such buddies, be having him at the Florida shows? I don't think so, man. Yeah, they're fucking with his head.
And also, isn't it like summertime, right? So people are going to be on vacation. Yeah, they're going to go vacation in Florida, for example, and they might want to go and see a little bit of comedy at night. So, because we know that Chad, is the 18th best open micer in Florida. So, why not go and open at your local gig? Also, with the super tip thing, though, Quad, somebody did mention it to me earlier. Maybe the reason why Chad isn't doing it is because he can't get an account with Stripe, because obviously Chad has stolen a lot of credit cards in his past, right?
Dude,
so maybe he's been.
I never considered that's a great point. Is it very possible that he cannot get a Stripe account because he's a credit card thief? Worst case scenario, he's a credit card thief of freaking Viet veterans. Yeah, what a piece of shit Chad is. What a piece of shit. All right, Chad Zumach. I won't be using Melton's super tip system, judging how he does business behind the scenes. Also, the final straw was in AC when he pretended to be friendly and begged me to come to Hackamania, only to pull offer when he got home. He would do something shady just for content if I agreed to do super tip system. I'd rather go broke instead. I don't trust him or Moody.
Well, he's getting his wish. He's going broke.
Wait, am I wrong in this? But is Chad trying to rewrite history? I thought Melton didn't withdraw the offer to do Hackamania until Chad, after AC, went on his own show and said, "There's no way on earth I'm going to Vegas." And then that's when.
Well, okay, so when they were in AC, he offered it to him. Chad had brought it up a couple times on his own stream. He went on to MLC and said, "Yeah, well, Melton invited me out to Hackamania." And then whatever, Kevin said something. He was like, "Yeah, but I wasn't never considering actually going out there to make Daddy happy. Of course, you know how Chad works. So that's all it was. He could never go because he didn't want to piss off Daddy Brennan, but he still ended up pissing him off anyway by not hating the Shoolies enough. But as we played last week, that whole fucking thing was a work anyway, right? Chad leaving MLC.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He got busted, and now look, he's been back. Today, he went back on the show, and everybody acted like nothing ever happened. He's like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Well, let's not forget he went back on
too.
Went back on last week, right, and was claiming that Karmic X stole his old gimmick, which again, like,
stole everything, stole all of his bits.
Which, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I got highly offended by that because I'm like, when has Chad ever been, one, entertaining, or two, funny? It's never happened.
He said that about me today. He's like, "Quadfather's never been funny." Oh no, that's right. Yeah, BYB thing came up and was chipping him, and he was like, I don't talk to BYB. I won't even give him the time of day, something like that." Like, cool, and don't care.
Did you forget in that there's a clip of him going, "Why don't you like me?" to you, Quad?
Why don't you? I don't get it. Why don't you like me? Because no one likes you, douchebag. Yeah, so Thorough Joe Burrow. I hear your buddy Equals right up here at top. I guess I should show that. Let me pull that.
Yeah, that made me laugh that he was responding to a nobody. Look at the interactions on those little
fruit.
Yep, a literal fruit.
And it is Fruit Month, so everybody celebrate Fruit Month, Equal included. Even if he's a right side up pineapple, you would think he'd be an upside down pineapple. Equal Pineapple. If you aren't going to use super tips, I guess reaching out to MLC full time until monetized is another option. Better than nothing, maybe. No, Kevin won't agree to that. He rather me suffer. Now he'll have you on once or twice a week, man. I think.
So well, can be able to survive. So a handout from Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Handout instead of a hand up.
Thank you.
Exactly. So keep on thinking it really professional, since it is a business they want to grow. They would be pushing away potential customers if they did that. Anything nefarious with you or any other DV customer. Bubba the Love Sponge makes bank. Yeah. You would think he messes with me with my merch, Hackamania, and messed with Pat Dixon with the super tip system. I get you like him, but he's shady behind the scenes. Now, what the fuck is he talking about with Pat Dixon and messing with him behind the scenes? He never took away Pat Dixon's super tip system. He's never messed with Pat Dixon. Pat Dixon may have said some stupid shit about zip code that he had information, but other than that, that's the only controversy I could even think of.
I think what's happened here, Quad, is a classic example of, we know that Chad watches Melton, and he was obviously watching Melton cover Pat Dixon when that whole scenario happened. And I remember Pat saying, maybe we'll just take away the super tip system from him. That's all Melton said. And like it says on the start of Melton's show, anything said on this show is for comedic effect. He shouldn't be taken seriously.
Entertainment purposes only and comedic effect. Bingo. You got it. You got it.
Mm-hmm. But again, Chad wants to paint a narrative, obviously, like we saw earlier with the earlier tweet towards Ickle, which sounds to me was a man crying wolf, right? Oh, Brennan would rather me suffer. Please, Daddy Brennan, I need your help today. That's why he was on MLC today. And like you said, Brennan will give him those scraps at least once a week.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 times a week now. Because guess what? He'll show up every time. And I guarantee Kevin will probably give him less. Like if he was giving him 100 and something a show, he'll probably knock it down $25-$50 less because he knows he's now desperate. Do you remember when Ray was desperate and having a tough time? Do you remember how Kevin was so nice and helped him out by stop paying him completely?
Right.
In his time of desperation, he stopped paying him at all.
And telling everybody else to stop paying them too.
Well,
bingo.
This is the thing. That was Brennan's logic, right? He was saying, Ray, you're doing other people's shows and they're not paying you. So why should I pay you? Or you're not paying your own guests, so why should I pay you?
Exactly. Yeah, he started saying that to everybody. All right. If podcasting, I like this one. If podcasting is your main source of your income, you said yesterday, then taking the system is a no-brainer. It's not. Melton would use it for content. I've worked with him before. It's not worth it. That I actually might agree with on Chad. The fact that he's been talking so much shit about the super tip system, I have a feeling that Melton would make fun of him for taking it after saying, hey, he made fun of Carmix for taking it. Whatever. You got to kind of chip the guy once he finally goes for it after talking shit about how shady it is forever. You know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing, Quad. With what Chad said yesterday about YouTube was his main income, right? So he's got 2 options, yeah? He can eat humble pie and, like Cardiff said, go and lick Milton's bollocks, right, to get super tips. Or he can go and get a job. Now, we know he's not going to do the latter. So he might as well eat humble pie, get shit on for a little while, and rake in some money. Makes logical sense.
Hey, there's always the cruise ship. There's always the cruise ship route that fucking Ray DeVito took. Have a place to stay and everything. You don't have to be at Gladwell Apes Head Housing.
Section 8. That's right, folks. All right, next one up. Patrick, Chad Zumach is lying about being demonetized for sympathy. Spreading, this is from today, by the way. Chad Zumach is lying about being demonetized for sympathy, spreading lies about my excellent track record in trying to help him. I set up merch for him, and he told me to take down the store. Now blames me. I invited him to Hackmania, and he was too good to attend our humble event. I've never done anything to Pat Dixon's super tip account, so he's grasping here. And as for how I am behind the scenes, here is an unanswered text I sent Chad last night. Chad is faking demonetization and pretending to have standards now for your sympathy. Some people can't be helped, which is a very good question. Is it possible that indeed Chad made up all of this stuff because his as Dan has showed over and over and over that the numbers are down at the Sit Down Zumach podcast? Is it possible that he's so desperate that he would lie about it for some more money? Remember the last time what was it, his gig got canceled in Cape Coral? Everybody felt bad for him and gave him a fuck ton of money. Is it possible that he's doing the same methodology right now, trying to get a bunch of money from the sympathy?
Well, quite. I'm thinking of the time after that where he claimed that was it 6 police officers come to his door, and then within an hour later it changed to 4 officers come to his house.
It was just 4, which means it was none, most likely, but so be it.
It's almost
it's almost like every story he ever tells changes in time or just turns out to be a lie. Yes, that's the Chad we know, indeed, and don't love. With the Chad we know and hate, no, or don't love. You probably have me blocked. You are welcome to use super tips. You are also welcome to keep making fun of me if you use it. It's not for some people and not others. It's made for situations like yours, so you can make money without worrying about companies demonetizing you. Let me know if you want to get set up. No bit, not fucking with you. We made this for everybody, including Chad Zumach.
So earlier, Cord, you read a tweet, show whatever that guy's name is. Yeah, mentioned. I forgot that guy's name now. The radio guy that's got super tips. Yeah.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yeah, Bubba the Love Sponge. Yeah, he doesn't have the AI voices, right? He only has the text.
The text part, right?
So even Chad,
he still wants to keep more of his money, duh, right?
Yeah, but even Chad could turn off a part of that, I assume, right?
You don't have to use the voice tips.
And also, as far as I'm aware, Quad, couldn't he raise the minimum super chat to him?
Yes.
So he can
you can make it whatever you want. You can make it less. I think our minimum is $3, but you could even make it 2 or whatever. But they don't suggest doing that. That's why we don't.
No, of course, yeah. But again, Chad here isn't seeing the bigger picture. But to your original point that you started with, the longer this is going, the more I am thinking that this is something Chad would do. It's the start of the month. Why wouldn't he turn off his own monetization to his channel, get sympathy? Because straight away when he went live yesterday, there was a chyron at the bottom saying his Venmo link. And as we know, you keep all of the money from Venmo, right? So
there you go. Venmo it is. That's right.
Hey, Quad. Z-Man here. You probably heard the news. Yeah, I'm fucked. I just want you to know I always liked you. How about you kick the geezer to the curb and get in the mud biz? Hit me up. Mud Shark out.
Oh, damn. Apparently he's offering to replace your old ass there, Honk. Holy shit.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. I might need a nap, so who knows? We could fit him in maybe.
That's fair. Yeah, anytime you feel like taking a nap, he can fill in. That makes sense. Well, that's old people talk. That's old people stuff. That's old guy talk.
Give me, Honk, I thought you and Chad Zumach were the same age.
He's a tad bit younger than I am.
Just a couple. Yeah, and then this of course was Chad talking about Moody coming into his chat. This is from today. This is from today too. Even Moody came into my chat yesterday and had an attitude for no reason with the super tips. He basically said, I don't give a shit if you use it or not. I'm unsubscribing for your channel when I'm done here. Yeah, so he just popped in there to subscribe because you have to be a subscriber to chat in his chat. So yeah, obviously Moody went over there, subscribed to his channel, then put in a chat which pretty much said, use our fucking super tip system. This is exactly what it's for. And then as soon as he was done, unsubscribed and left. Pretty simple shit, man.
But Chad, there with the quote from Moody, right? It's kind of shitting on himself there. Like Moody said, he doesn't give a shit if he uses it or not. But Chad's
it's either you join and you become part of business with us, or you do your own thing and figure it out for yourself. Either way, it doesn't. I mean, whatever. I'm sure. Okay. So here's a great point. Let's say Chad made $600 on a live stream. How much of that are those guys gonna make? It'd be like 60, like $30. So let's say Chad made $1,000 a month on a super tip system. That means that Moody would make $40. Like in the big scheme of things, is it a huge deal for Moody? No, he's offering. It's way more beneficial for all the creators than it is if you were just to like break down each. Pennies add up though. In time, obviously, Chad's going to make them pretty good money. But yeah, if you were going to look at it for for the next 60 days, how much is he going to make them? Probably not a killing. So they're actually offering a pretty good solution for Chad's problem.
Well, you know what? Seeing how Chad is totally lacking in principle, I guarantee you he takes the deal.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I do think he will take it. Even Kevin was kind of saying like, yeah, use it, dude. I would if I was you. It is kind of weird that we got Pat Dixon coming back to YouTube right now while Chad Zumaki is getting demonetized. Timing isn't it weird how this works out in the Dabbleverse? There's always something changing.
Is Pat Dixon, did he get his stuff back?
He got his fucking entire channel back.
Outstanding. Good. I'm glad to hear
tweeted
that.
it
I
out.
like that.
Yeah, if you guys go look on if you go look at BYB podcast, if you go look at my Twitter, you will see I retweeted it, so it should be easy to find. Pat tweeted it out. Taz, like all those folks. Anybody that's a fan of Pat, I'm sure you can find his old channel. It took me a second to find it because I figured it would be Pat Dixon, but it's actually like P Dixon or something.
Is this the moment where I say this part of the show has been brought to you by supertip.gg/BYB? Yeah. What's funny though, Quad, is I'm sure we're going to get to this, right? Chad's been demonetized for 60 days. Yeah. 60 days. So it's not like the end of the world. He's just got 60 days.
I mean, we all think that that's the deal, right?
Well,
Are we 100%
what he said,
positive that's correct?
Well, that's what he said the email said, right? So if he's squeaky clean, like Husey said yesterday when he come on, YouTube is quite PC, so everyone needs to clean up their act. Be careful.
Okay, so what I think no. I think what he said is they have up to 60 days to make a determination on what they're doing with him. It was like right now you're done, you're cooked, you're Google AdSense, no bueno.
Okay.
And we have 60 days to determine otherwise, or 60 days or less to make a determination on what we're doing with the monetization. But Cardiff did make it sound like he's had this happen before, and it was literally a 60-day temporary suspension. And maybe they leave that loophole in there. So like if they really just want to take your shit away, at some point there, they could just be like, nah, you're cooked. You're done.
Well, Cardiff also, I was going to say, Cardiff also said that the reason why he was demonetized was due to the fact that he threatened people or took bets on them in the death pool, which he stole from Honk, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, Honk.
Okay, so and then this is what Chad said. An online troll used a VPN and excessively clicked ads over and over on my content, and AdSense suspended my monetization. Basically, my whole YouTube channel was sabotaged, and it doesn't look good. I am hoping YouTube and Google can fix that. First, my Patreon, and now this. This can happen to anyone, and I'm not sure why I am the only one being targeted.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. People getting clicked, ads getting clicked over and over and over.
If that was the case, then why was like PewDiePie, for example, the biggest thing on YouTube ever at one point? Yeah, it was partly because he had ads, and I assume everybody was clicking all over those ads. He didn't get demonetized at all, did he? Like, so Chad's just grasping at nothing here. Also, if that was the case, why isn't the Shuli network being demonetized, Chad? Because you know that people would have done that to Shuli straight away, right? If this was the case.
Yeah, if you can click on enough ads to cause them a problem. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And good job adding YouTube and Google in that tweet, you dummy. What an idiot. What an idiot. But yeah, that's what Cardiff said. I called this just over a week ago. I tried to warn you, Chad Zumach. Your soliciting super chats for a death pool was 100% why you lost your monetization. It is kind of funny looking back now. Good point. He's not the only one that pointed this out. We also, Dan and I. Okay, so Chad, live any moment. The chat is already cooking. Get your votes in for the Dabbleverse death pool, which he stole from Honk.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, it's a betting thing. It's death pools. You know what I mean? It's like all the stuff you're not supposed to talk about on YouTube. Death and betting and what is this? Super chat any amount with a person and a day for a year chance to win $500 and prizes. You can't have a prize thing, you idiot.
And you see where he could, but you see where it's wrong is where he says super chat any amount. They don't have to super chat shit to get in this contest. They could just give you a regular chat. You have to make it available for everyone. That's one of the things about the legalities. So he's trying to charge for it. He's breaking some rules right there.
Yeah, he's selling entrance into a death pool, right? Like a lottery. It's like a lottery or like fucking sports betting like that.
Exactly.
You can't do that shit. There's rules and regulations, dumb.
Isn't it funny though, Quad, that Cardiff can call out Chad and say, well, I guess it will be somebody else's fault when he loses his YouTube. And he called it a week out before it happened. It's almost as if, and you know what Chad's going to do? He's immediately going to go, well, then it's Cardiff that's done it to me, rather than actually going, oh, wait a minute, you know.
He had a good point. Like, maybe I should have listened to him. Like, that's on me, man. Like, I should have been paying more attention. I didn't realize I was going to be a problem. Dumb. Florida as well, because it would be like a state thing, right? Isn't that how gambling commissions, they work on state by state? That's why Aaron got in trouble for Minnesota, like that. People were turning him into the Attorney General of Minnesota, not America. The Department of Justice.
But Aaron's quite familiar with that attorney, though, isn't he? Or he's familiar with quite a few attorneys in Minnesota. But anyway, yeah.
I see what you did there. Speaking of which, we will be having Nick Rekieta on later in the show. I think he's going to be coming on around 10 o'clock Eastern. So 7 o'clock ish.
Also, Quad, just a quick side tangent. Is that Beavis that Cumia's holding up there? I've not.
Yes. Yeah.
It's got big.
Oh, no, it's Neo. Beavis died.
Oh, Neo. Yeah, sorry, Neo. Yeah, I've got getting mixed up.
That's right. Neo. Don't you know his cats, dude? Like, how do you not know his cats by heart? Jeez, man. What a bad mess up. I feel like I
already
had
taken Anthony for a dog guy.
Well, he's a dog guy now. He's a dog man now. All right. I did have one more. Let me look if I can find this. There we go. Yeah, this is the other one people thought might be it, is where he made a poll question with me, Dan, Carl, and Melton. With all the pedo talk, who looks like an actual pedophile? Yeah, I don't know if it's illegal to call people, say that people look like pedophiles. I don't know if that's a good look.
Well, it's strange, right? So I don't want to defend Chad at all, but you guys have that freedom of speech over there. But yeah, I don't think it applies to private companies, for example, because YouTube's a private company and they set their own terms and conditions. And I'm really surprised that he was able to put that poll up with the word pedophile in it. I would have thought that YouTube would have had some sort of filter system to stop him being able to do that without having to like spell it differently.
Yeah, okay. But he uses the full word pedophile.
But he also used the word pedo talk.
I know, but then he says, who looks like an actual pedophile? Like he said that. With all the pedo talk, but then you're like, well, who looks like an actual pedophile? And then he's got names. He's naming names, folks. That's not good.
God, who won the poll, sir?
Melton by 1 percentage point. I'm glad. Thank God. Thank you, Melton. Thank you, Melton, for looking more PDF-y. What do they call it? Gooner? A gooner. Oh, no. That's right, Dan. Yeah, I don't know. Why does Carl and Dan look less pedo than me and Melton? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the real fuck, man? How dare you? How dare 250 of you vote in that either, too? That's that really bothers me. Like, I can't tell you how messed up that is. It's very unfortunate. You suck. You guys should stop doing this. Yes, Dabbler Death Pool Solution money. Yeah, it's bad enough the guy steals your death pool, honk.
Yeah.
And this. But
well,
then,
you know, I imagine it wasn't a very good bit anyhow. He didn't share all the good stuff like the odds and all that stuff like Honk does. So it was a weak effort by a weak man. And this kind of his whole thing getting demonetized, I'd like to think that the good Lord above had a hand in this. Amen.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, you look like you're descending from heaven right now, buddy. Indeed.
Yeah, just don't go into the light, Honk, whatever you do.
Stay away from the fucking light.
Stay with us. Stay with us, honk. We got you.
Away from the light.
All right. I do believe this is posted by our good buddy Cardiff. Let me look. Let's just take a peek. Yeah, this is breaking news. But this is the question. Breaking news. Chad Zumach loses YouTube monetization. Anyone have the clip of him when it happened to me? Because if I remember correctly, and you guys remember correctly, what's up with Chad's nose? He's got a big scrape on his nose. Did he get Kumia country'd again?
I'm trying to think what the timeline of this. I'm trying to think what he did. Didn't he fall down drunk? Remember that time?
Was that him or Mr. Kill Everything?
Well, both the same, right? They both treat women like pieces of shit, right?
And
yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah, well, hopefully we got Ashley coming on here any moment. I don't see that she's having issues. I did tell her to come in at about 10. just to buy us a couple more minutes to finish up this Chad Zumach stuff. We don't want to drag her into the Zumach country. It's dangerous out there, folks. Contribute to the channel, tards. That's how you ask for money. How dare you, mud tards?
The sad part is this could happen to anybody. This could happen to anybody. And even if you're not a fan of mine or if you don't like me or whatever, it could happen to you. I'm just saying.
Well,
this could happen to anybody, man. Like he said yesterday, he's never rooted for anyone to have something like that happen. And he totally doesn't deserve it because you remember when he got Stuttering John's gig canceled. Dude, there's a long list of stuff, but he was gloating when Cardiff lost his channel and all that stuff went down. Somebody was really, really happy about it and was doing a fucking end zone dance, spiking the ball.
He was also gloating when people were calling up comedy gigs for Ray DeVito, for example. And he was also encouraging or alluding to the fact that, yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was also alluding to the fact that he was going to get Stuttering John cancelled from that con coming up in Florida, right?
Con.
So it's kind of funny how like Chad conveniently forgets those things when he's like, well, it can happen to anybody, and even if you don't like me, it's pretty bad that it happened. That is true. However, like hot kettle black. Go on, Hulk.
No, but I interrupted you. Please continue.
No, go ahead. Go on. I'll finish.
No, I was just going to say, do you think when he's home alone, all by himself, and he's just in there reflecting that he just knocks himself upside the fucking head and goes, God, I'm a dumbass. He has to have some moments of reflection. He may not ever exhibit them, but I bet you in private, they're terrifying.
I think he's too busy spending most of his days reading how he can microwave salmon.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. And it's that fucking Atlantic Coast salmon. Woo.
Junk salmon. Junk salmon. Exactly.
Or he's too busy buying Instagram followers, right? Because that's another thing that Chad's been doing, right?
That's why he steals credit cards just so he can buy Instagram followers. That's quite the thing, isn't it, to do?
Yep.
Yeah, trippy shit, man. Yeah, that dude's a one of a kind, folks. Indeed.
Worst fucking individual in this whole Dabbleverse, in my opinion, honest opinion. And that's even, just.
Well, what about Mr. Kill Everything? He's coming into his own.
Mr. Kill Everything might be a big fucking turd, but he's a better turd than fucking Chad is a turd.
Well, he just doesn't have any power yet. Wait till he has some power.
I would always say to any female that joins the Dabbleverse, do not give Chad any information about yourself. However, now Mr. Kill Everything's coming along. Don't give that motherfucker anything. Because turns out that he thinks
trips me out that he's got Ashley all of her information. It's like probably not a good thing.
Nope.
All right, let's move ahead. Speaking of MLC, let's get into MLC. See, did you guys hear this? He moved up from number 4 to number 3 in the world and made $15,000 last month. It was hilarious because he just had Ray on his show today. He's like, how much did you make last month, Ray? And he got him to tell him how much he made last month. It was like 800. No, he wouldn't even say. He looked it up himself on Playboard.
Yeah.
Right in front of his face. He looked it up. It was pretty funny, man. Then he was like, you made 800? I made 15,000, Ray. You're a loser.
What a dick.
Funny, dude.
So, this can't be real, right? That MLC is third in the world on like making
comedy, I think, in the category of comedy.
Comedy.
All right, fair enough. In that, if you're going to put it in categories, fair enough. Yeah,
it's in the category.
Yeah. In the category, Rauchy, what don't you get? Are you stupid?
Come on, Roger. What the hell?
Well, I'm thinking there's no way on earth that he could be free in the world. But like you said, if you put it into categories of comedy, I suppose so. Yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
Then why would the Shooting Network be? Well, Quad, why would the Shooting Network be under comedy? Nobody finds Shooting funny.
Very good question. That's the best question I think I've ever been asked, because there's nothing funny about the Shooting Network. That's a fact, Jack.
That question left Quadfather speechless, and he can talk the blue ears off of green moose.
Well, Honk, the reason why I say that is you look, they fell 43 places, right? They shouldn't even be in the category of comedy, in my opinion. But anyway, whatever.
They're in the Shirley business. All they care about is themselves, and keeping a good guy like Kevin Brennan down. Show me the number, Shirley. Exactly. That is kind of wild, though. All they made was $8,800 last month, and they have to split it between how many people? And I'm sure Shirley's taking a huge chunk, right?
Well, you would assume so, right? It's his name on the channel, and like
I would assume that's how it works.
I was going to say, he come
Are
up
they
with the
going
idea.
out of business soon? Is that what's going on here?
I was going to say, Quad, he come up with the idea, but we know that's not true, right? We know he didn't come up with the idea. It was his best friend, but let's not talk about it. Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, is he getting his comeuppance right now? Is that's what's really going on? Is that what you feel like?
I'm still gobsmacked that like the Shooting Network is considered comedy. Like I haven't found that show, the Uncle Rico show. It's the only thing that I was watching at the time. Funny for a very long time. Very long time.
Agreed, man. Right. Yes, MLC killing it, man. I would have to say though, the only thing that really happened recently to help the MLC out to move up, because he was number 4 in that category last week. Now he's number 3. Like, can he thank Ashley Cummings for that bump? Because her and Mr. Kill Everything gave him like his biggest night ever on MLC, the second best show he's ever made money, like $2,000 or something.
And not only that, let's not forget that Keanu went on after this little piggy too. So you could say the same. So weirdly enough, this is strange, I'm going to say this, maybe Kevin having females on his show has actually moved him up a spot, which is weird for this little corner of the internet because there's not very many females around, is there?
This little corner?
Mm-hmm. Well, Honk, do you think Brennan got the bump because of Ashley and Mystical Everything, or do you think it was something else?
You know what? I think Kevin Brennan is the best salesman in this fucking whole universe. And I mean, if you look at his thing, there's probably a real ebb and flow about it. Maybe it is the pretty ladies he's getting in. But to me, I think it just varies each month. And boy, when he wants to work it or something, I'd have to go back and look through and see how vicious he was towards certain people. It seems he gets motivated. Okay, he gets extremely motivated by motherfuckers.
Anybody that's watched me knows I'm not the biggest Brennan fan, but I will give him credit. He was telling Mystical Everything to shut the fuck up,
right,
when she was speaking, because he wouldn't let her speak. So, like, he gets credit for that, I suppose.
Yeah.
What's new with Mr. Kill Everything? He can't shut his mouth. It's just unfortunate that he's such a drunk, because everything coming out of his mouth is horse shit for the most part. All right, I'm just checking stuff out because we got stuff going on the fly. It does not appear. I don't see any messages from Ashley, and I don't see her here. That's never a good sign when you're 20 minutes after when she said she'd be here. So hopefully she'll be showing up any moment now. That would be good. But we definitely, I see Rekieta over there on Twitter retweeting this show and whatnot. So it looks like he's definitely going to be showing up, and he already has the link. So in about 40 minutes, we will be getting Nick Rekieta on the show. We're going to go through some of those pictures and whatnot of his house, and does seem like he has confirmation that those those EMIG, like you can look up the information on the photos that were taken by the police. So it does seem like he's got confirmation with the data from the photos. So he can prove that they are actually police photos. I know a bunch of people were chipping him and saying like he just went around taking pictures whenever he felt like it, but that does not seem to be the case. I know people called him out for it. Not necessarily the news, folks. All right, back to MLC a little bit. I know this is going to be a side tangent. We got plenty of other stuff we can talk about. We don't need Ashley here. It was just set up that way, but we know how these ladies in the Dabbleverse be acting. Who knows? Maybe someone told her we're bad folks. Yeah, never know. There's so many little games going on in the Dabbleverse with these freaking losers.
Well, Quad, I'm glad you mentioned bad folks. Oh, look, Liam's on the screen.
That Liam, who's a total POS. Yeah, if that guy ends up in your DMs, ladies, run the other way. He might eat you. He might eat you completely. I don't know if you guys saw this one. And I'm not talking about Pat Dixon going on the show. I'm talking about Teamster Tim and Liam McEnany apparently had some words, but they also ended up coming up with a little bet and a competition. I'm very curious to see if this actually happens. I'm hoping maybe it happens on MLC.
Ooh. Only time will tell, right?
Reverend Rage, are you chipping me, man? Liam seems like a nice dude. Are you're joking? Stop it. Very good question. I don't actually know the answer to that. To be fair with you, T-Gun, I do not watch Pobo's Clown Town. I can't get into that show, and it's like a 9-hour show when they do a show, and it's never ending nonsense dribble. But I know that all those people over there have been in Ashley's ear, so I have a weird feeling it has something to do with some of those people over there, Liam McEnany's, etc. But yeah, anyway, let's get into this. Teamster Tim versus Liam.
I gotta say something here. TJ, didn't you issue out a challenge to Liam?
Yes, I did, and I'll stand by that challenge.
What challenge is that?
10,000 cash. You put up, I'll put up. Stand up, head to head. You want to roast? You want to stand up, head to head?
With you?
With me, yeah. 10 grand. I'll put it up.
Whoa.
Okay, TJ, but who's gonna judge this?
Neutral.
Dude, what is the challenge going to be? What is the challenge?
The challenge is that I'm a truck driver, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And he's a self-claimed comedian or whatever it is, producer that he's going to be.
I've done stand up on TV multiple times. Go ahead.
Dude,
yeah.
I love Teamster Tim calling him out like that, calling him in quotes a comedian. That's fucking amazing. And we all know Teamster Tim is hilarious. Right before they all went to AC, the set. Do you remember the set that Teamster Tim sent me?
Yep. Yeah, we played it, right?
Brilliant, dude. Yeah. He's brilliant. The guy is hilarious. He writes better jokes than most people. What was the funniest joke out of all of the roast jokes that were said on Chad and Ray's show on that roast? It was
a Team's
joke.
Yeah. I was just saying, Quad. It's funny because when you played that Team's Tim video, I was like, oh wait a minute, didn't he write for Ray DeVito? I was like, yeah, and everybody said Ray DeVito won the ghost roast, yeah. And it's like, okay, so surely,
and that was the number one joke that probably put it over the top.
And it's almost as if Ray DeVito should have given that money to Teamster Tim. Now, it's also funny that Teamster Tim is like 10 grand cash. We'll put it up.
You put it up.
There's no way on earth Liam's got
Liam.
10 grand in
Yeah,
cash. There's nowhere on earth.
Exactly. He just dropped out of school or flunked out or whatever.
Yep.
He probably has a bunch of loans he has to pay back and doesn't even have a degree to show for it. Good
And
job,
I
Liam.
noticed the other night, I noticed that he was eating the off-brand of the Doritos chips. So time to rub.
Yeah, that fucker can't stuff his face full. All right, let's hear the rest of it.
How are you going to judge?
I have a special coming out.
Hold up, boys. Stop.
I laughed. That's how you judge it, jerk.
No,
off.
hold on. Stop. How will you judge a producer versus a truck driver? How would that be?
Scott, take it back a second.
Okay, first of all, nobody noticed.
Wait. Guys, I have to really clear this up. I'm a professional comedian. I have a special coming out this year. I'm not an alleged comedian. I've been paid to do it a lot in my life. I also produce stand-up professionally. Like, that's how I pay my rent. Right. So everybody take a step back with this alleged comedy stuff.
dude, Liam, I fucking like you, dude. All right.
Hey, dude, I like you, dude. Like, that's how good of a comedian you are. I like you. Who's this retard talking? I don't know any of these guys. I don't know the characters. I really can't pay attention to Clown Town. The only person I've ever actually given any thought to whatsoever is that Mazzy chick over there. And Big W, whatever. He doesn't seem like a total douchebag, but the rest of these guys, man.
Wait, quite. I thought Mazzy went to the ocean and never come back again. But oh no.
No, she's been on Clown Town apparently like every single episode from what I can see. I looked through the list of shows that she's been on, and it's like every fucking time they go live, she goes on there. But I guess she's got some free time now that she's not with Mr. Kill Everything, right?
Yeah, it was interesting word though by Liam though. I produce comedy, that's how I pay my rent. Isn't Liam 50?
I'm 50. I think I don't believe anything Liam says at this point. Maybe he has a special coming out. He said he filmed it. We'll see. I've watched a bunch of his comedy. It's all shit. It's not good. He does alternative comedy though, so maybe it's just not up my alley. But whatever. I'm not into it, and I don't think he's funny. So Teamster Tim is a funny motherfucker. I would put my money on Teamster Tim, and that's seeing very little samples.
Or at least it will be extremely entertaining either way. Yeah, because who knows? Maybe Liam might actually surprise people and become funny, but I've not seen it happen yet.
Yeah.
The times I've seen him. Even when he was doing the shit with Ray, I never found that entertaining. However, it's funny that you said like a special coming out. Didn't Chad say that he had a special that he was going to release? Like,
I think he was trying to like tail end it on one of like Godfrey's. He was like, "Oh, I'll show up and do like Godfrey. Since he's already going to be set up, I'll just sneak in there and do that last like half hour of his show or so." It was something pathetic like that. It wasn't going to be a real deal.
So there is an opportunity for Chad to make money then by doing that and releasing that and charging people money to view the thing, right? Or wouldn't it be more beneficial for him to release it for free and have a chyron at the bottom with his Venmo? You know? But
yes, exactly. Yeah. No, that's he needs a GoFundMe even better. Oh, I'm doing a GoFundMe, guys. Can you help me like film my special? Like, it's gonna be good, I promise.
The last GoFundMe I saw.
Please,
yeah, yeah, the last GoFundMe I saw, Quad, was Johnny Krutches, and that's going well for him, isn't it?
Yeah, like 300 big ones. 300 smackaroonies. Yeah, Big W, you should take that as a compliment. I said, you seem like the only regular normal guy over there.
Didn't Johnny Krutches want like 3,000 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
He ain't gonna get it. Anyway, he's trying to move into a new place.
Yeah, that's why that's what the GoFundMe was set up for, right? Because he's got.
It says like to help Johnny get a new crib, but he meant house. Right. But you shouldn't say crib. Not everyone knows crib equals house. Help me get a new crib. It's like, wait, you have a brand new baby? You probably shouldn't have done that, dude. Considering them legs don't work. It'd be irresponsible to pop out another puppy at this point.
Well, you know what? It's $300. Everybody else is going, what in the fuck? He wants a baby crib. Shit.
Yeah, right. Good luck with that shit. All right, I guess we should get through some of the steel toe shit. We got half an hour till Rekieta is going to show up. That would probably be wise at this juncture. We had some Melton, we got some Opie stuff, we got a bunch of fucking Ashley stuff, but apparently we're not doing that now. So steel toe time, I guess it is. We want to fully go through all of Nick Rekieta's stuff, the pictures and whatnot. All right, let's jump right into the runga dung dung, huh? As Melton would say. The great Melton. Let's see. I'm just going to take a peek at our poll question right now. If you guys don't know, definitely start voting in that poll question. So far, Mr. Kill Everything is taking it away, hands down. The worst alcoholic in the Dabbleverse. There you go. If that makes you feel any better, Ashley, everyone else thinks that guy's a drunken fool as well.
Well, speaking of other alcoholics, Honk, did you watch Steel Toe from today by any chance?
I did watch some Steel Toe. I did.
So did you see the end of the show?
Where he quit because of the terrible abysmal performance of his donators. But I don't remember the exact ending though. What happened? Did he take a swig of some booze?
Well, no, I can't remember like yourself how it ended, but I do know that I saw somebody say he missed a goal by $100, but yeah, it was still a win because right. It's not about the.
It's in the notes. It's up.
Yeah, yeah, go.
We got it.
Yeah.
But before we do that, I have a clip from last week.
Yep.
We never got a chance to get to it. But indeed, that is what inspired the thumbnail. But all you folks need to answer that poll question too while you're at it, if you don't mind.
Answer the poll.
Get on that poll. Get on that poll, folks. All right. So this is from last week. And of course, this is Johnny Krutches being asked about his perfect woman. We all know where this question comes from. It's inspired by none other than Pod Awful Jesse P.S. This is his invention.
The rumor that what is it? Michelle Obama is Big Mike.
Yeah, but there's a difference between chicks got a dick and chicks your dad.
It's a good point. There are levels to this game.
Look, I'm just gonna say, if there's one I can live with, chick with a dick. I can live with that. Chick is your dad?
Really?
Ooh, yeah.
Have we made
that one's harder for me.
Have we made you answer the Jesse P.S. elevator question yet?
No. What is the Jesse P.S.?
Would you like the elevator question? First off, Michael with $5 says, whip it good. Attaboy. Thank you very much. $30 away from today's goal. Get in there. Drop in the next 15 minutes. And let's hit that last $30 and call it the win for the toe. All right, Johnny, here you go. While people are throwing in on the Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants.
Yeah.
$30 left. Let's give you the elevator question. You're on an elevator.
Okay.
The door opens. And your dream woman walks in. This is, in your head, put together who the most perfect woman on earth is for you, all right? Can you do that?
Right.
Okay.
I got that.
You put this perfect woman together. She's amazing. The doors close. The elevator gets stuck. And she says, I will have, for the next 30 minutes, I will have gay sex with you. Do you do it?
No.
This is your dream girl. This is the most amazing woman you can think of.
Yeah, but she just said gay sex, which implies dream girl has a dick.
Your dream girl has a dick? When you think of the most perfect woman you could possibly have, she's got
you
a
honey
dick.
potted me into this, motherfucker.
Oh my God, your perfect woman has a cock.
No, my perfect woman doesn't have a cock.
You just said she's got a dick.
In your scenario, apparently.
I just said she would have gay sex with you. I didn't say anything about her having a dick.
Gay sex is required between two people of the same sexual gender, which I am a guy, so...
She's not a guy. She's your dream woman. I said dream woman. And you said your dream woman has a dick.
No, I didn't say my dream woman has a dick. I said you are painting a lady who is my dream woman who apparently has a dick because she started out with because if it was a woman and she was going to have sex with you, she'd just be like, I'm going to have sex with you.
She is a woman. She's your dream woman.
If there's no phallus, then I'm fine with it.
So you would have gay sex with your dream girl on an elevator.
This is one of those where you're setting it up so there's no
I'm
win.
not setting up anything. I feel like I'm being very
Okay, so he said you're setting it up so that there's no win. Let's say that Rochi, let's say you're a perfect woman. Now you get into the elevator and you have a perfect woman, and she says for the next half hour you can have gay sex with her. What's your answer?
I'm not a fag, sir. I like smoking fags.
Yeah. So is there a right answer? Yes, there is a right answer, Johnny. You just don't answer the question the way they want you to answer it. You got to outwit them like Rochi does, folks.
Well, Quad, did Aaron at least give credit where credit's due? That's a Jesse from Pod Awful's bit, right? Did he ever say that to Johnny?
Yeah.
All right, okay, cool.
He starts with the question from Pod Awful.
Right, okay, then fair enough. Well, in that case, then fair enough. But yeah, it's what's the right phrasing for it? It's language mix up. You know, it's to try and get somebody to like say what Johnny said, which is my dream woman has penis.
No, that was right? Johnny just being candid and honest for once in his life, right?
Well, he said it beforehand as well, right? He said, I don't mind if a lady has a penis, you know, or something along those lines.
Exactly. Yeah, when it came up with the big mic thing right in the very beginning, right? He did say that. Exactly. I love it.
As long as his dad wasn't a chick, he's all right.
Exactly.
Well, it's a different world nowadays, Honk. You know, you've got to be accepting to all sorts nowadays, right?
Yeah, you got to be real tolerant.
A little too tolerant, if you will, as it were. Indeed. All right, we got about 20 here, so we better get through it. All right, here we go. Whoever you are in the chat, maybe you are Ashley. I don't know. Ashley never told you she was coming tonight. By the way, don't say she did and make her look unreliable. Don't make me show DMs. If you're actually Ashley, kind of seems like you might be by this. Absolutely did say she was coming tonight. Doom is not coming as well. Doom is in watching and waiting for her to come on, which she never did. So Doom wasn't going to come on till about 15-20 minutes into her segment. That was the plan. Doom was never going to come on unless she came on. Doom doesn't do shows for the most part. I don't know if you knew that. And also don't derail my show by saying bullshit. So evil lives here. If you're just full of shit and being stupid, the door's right there. Bye.
I'm sure Ashley's got a reasonable excuse as to why she didn't come on. I'm sure she's not.
Yeah, someone talked her out of it. Probably maybe this person, for example. Who sounds like a weirdo. Exactly.
Well, Ashley seems
maybe one of the army that she has of people that she sticks on people, which I was going to ask her about. But if she's not going to come here, maybe we'll just assume that it's real, that she does have an army of Amish. Is it Amish? I don't know. I was trying to be nice. I talked to her for like 40 minutes today. She seemed like a nice person. I guess she went back and watched one of our episodes where we were making fun of her. Hello, Dabbleverse. Every show is about making fun of everybody, you idiot.
But wait, Quad, talking of making fun, I didn't think the Amish was allowed to use the internet. I thought they were like...
I think she calls it... Yeah, I know that is a weird thing to call your army of people that you sick on everyone. Yeah, no doubt. Trippy. Yeah, I never know about people, man. It's weird. It's almost like everybody in the Dabbleverse just looks around and makes jokes and has fun. And then there's people like Ashley that totally don't get it, even though they're Red Bar fans and have been watching that exact kind of behavior for how long?
Yeah,
20
very
years.
weird.
Depending on whether you watch Red Bar, he claims that he kind of created this whole idea, right, of shit talking people on the internet. But you know,
yeah, exactly. That's I think her picker may have some issues. That's a fact. Actually, probably decided to take her drive on I-80 with Ray. After all, she has guys named Mr. Kill Everything come to her home, plastered drunk. That's the kind of decision making she makes. Exactly. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she trusts the wrong people. Maybe, possibly. It's all good. That's on her. Whatever. She is a nice person. Worst case, yeah.
Maybe she's just paranoid from years of methamphetamine abuse back in her youth.
I don't think she doesn't come off like a methamphetamine user.
You never know. It takes all time. Plus, she does kind of have
never
the
know.
leather frame.
Exactly. Come on.
You see that in the chat, Quad? Yeah.
Come on, Quad. What are you waiting for?
I believe Jesse wants to call you, Quad.
What does he want to call me?
I don't know. I think that's for you to find out, right?
I don't want to know. Is he gonna call me a goon? I don't want to be a goon. I don't want to. All right, moving on. Next up, we got from today what you were talking about. Oh shit. Oh, I got the wrong clip up. What a moron. Un momento, por favor. Just a quick little break here. Yeah, whatever, man. I really don't care what her deal is. She seems highly volatile and emotional, and she's a female too. So you got to give her a little break for just that, right?
Yeah, we've got to be nice to females. Apparently, it's their month.
Yeah.
Right? They're allowed to be anything they want this month.
Ones that have like emotional problems, emotional damage. Don't know if they're coming or going. I guess that's a thing.
Yeah.
All right. No, Pot Awful's watching something else completely. So thanks for the info, though. You did make me look. Got me to look. That's a fact. Not nice. All right, let's play this. This is from today. You want to see how the goal turned out today?
Yes, please. Yeah, and like somebody just said in the chat, sorry, Quad, let's blame Mr. Cool Everything for the reason why Ashley isn't showing up, right?
Exactly. It's his fault.
Yep.
Man, my cursor's really being a pain in the ass, dude. Sorry about this, folks.
Let those retards hit each other. You know, it's fine. Let those retards hit each other. Well,
who's he talking about? Who in the Dabbleverse could it be? No, I'm joking.
Guys, we're taking an L.
Yeah, his kids. Yeah, let those retards hit each other. Look at that double chin, man. It's getting off the hook.
He looks a lot like a slimmed down Peter Griffin there.
Ah, you got him. He's a Peter. That's right. Peter Puffer. Not a Peter Griffin.
We got to hope that the evening show audience, I think you can probably tell by my lack of desperation that this one, you know, what do you do? Once in a while,
happens.
you miss. We're looking good over here on the toe. But hey, That doesn't mean I still, for competitive reasons, don't want the win. So we're going to hand it over to the evening show to see if they can do it, to see if they can take care of it. And we'll give them a little extra overtime if they do. If you guys want to throw in a couple of bucks, click one of those links, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. And also, it looks like Chad Buzamak is a dishonest clipper. He clips things out of context. It didn't get to 75 on the vote. Therefore, I have the deciding vote. And I say Chad Buzamak is fake news. Sorry, guys. I got to say, we got over 1,000 people watching at a time today. We had some of our best numbers ever, and we're going to end up hitting that hundo. So I'm calling today another win for the toe. Johnny, you're back at 1 o'clock on your channels,
Yes,
correct?
sir. I'm back. I'll have Digger, and she'll be spotting for me if I am spotting myself.
Okay, there it is, folks. Apparently, Johnny's got Digger, and Johnny's ideal woman is a woman with a penis. So, is it true, folks? Does Digger indeed have a penis?
Dirk Diggler had a heck of a penis.
Yeah, he did. You ain't lying there, buddy.
So what's funny to me, Quad, is didn't Aaron say the same thing about Doom? Called Doom a dishonest clipper, called him fake news. And then 2 days
about all the clippers until they do
and
his favorite clip.
Yeah, and then 2 days later was like, oh yeah, Doom's fine because, like you said, clicked him in a favorable way, and Aaron was like, oh yeah, this person's okay again. So yeah, give it 2 days, and he'll say Chad Buzamak is absolutely fine.
Exactly.
You know, he still doesn't believe that he's a locale. I mean, he just is not aware. He doesn't, he really doesn't think that. And it's like everybody else in the world does, but him. Even Johnny thinks he's a locale. And what the fuck am I doing here with this dude?
Well, let's not forget. Sorry, God. Johnny claims that Aaron saved his life. So, like, no matter what Aaron does, he can't do no wrong because he saved Johnny's life in his time of need, which is quite pathetic if you ask me. Because
Johnny would already be gone if it weren't for the two.
I find that hard to believe. I watched Johnny try to walk up some stairs and Aaron laugh and say, "Come on, get up, little feller." So yeah, I don't believe that.
Well, it happened. Oh, also the confidence in Aaron going, "Yeah, we'll hit that goal tonight." So I'm calling it a win straight away. Now, I assume Aaron's still alive. It'll be interesting.
I would assume he is.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if he actually does hit, the $100 that he missed out by this morning.
Yeah, it could start getting tougher and tougher and tougher for him to hit. Whatever, man. We're all speculating. Let's just say up to this point, the fucker's been hitting all of his goals well. So, is it a problem now? No. Could it be? We'll see. He did actually have, like, when he said his view counts were up, I think when I popped in there right at the end, there was actually 400 people watching in YouTube. And I think that is higher than it's been lately. It's been down to like 230. But I'm guessing after Hackamania, he got the Hackamania bump. You know what I mean? And whatever. I think he's still kind of riding high on the Keanu thing a little bit from all of that. Because that's been covered by everybody and their dog like over and over and over for a minute now. So he definitely got a lot of fucking heat from that thing. He did well.
Not only that, Quad, I thought Aaron was claiming that the reason why his numbers was down is because it's the summer and his audience, in the summertime, don't listen to him or don't watch him.
Some summertime. No, I mean, he claims that when it's convenient, but other than that, if he has a good day, then it's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact, Jack. All right, moving on. Next one, we got a little ditty from Aaron Imholte. I gotta refresh my mind. But okay, so we're gonna start getting into the Nick Rekieta stuff. We definitely have all that up there. Just wanted to make sure I got all my things in order here. Yeah, we do. All right. So Aaron talking about some of the body cam footage stuff. We'll set it up, baby. I do expect probably here in about 10 minutes or less, I would assume, Rekieta will be showing up. He said he would give us about an hour of his time. So we'll go through some of the pictures and whatever, any questions we have for the guy. And there you go. We'll try to keep it brief, short, quick, and to the point. Not waste a bunch of time.
Yeah, speaking of Aaron, short and quick.
I see what you did there. Boom. Short and quick, just not as big as Nick, at least. Not going to leave her all tunneled out. That's right.
Makeup bleed.
2024.
Yeah. It's something she'll never forget. Hell of a birthday. Hell of a birthday.
And it starts at
9:11 a.m.
9:11 a.m. National tragedy. National tragedy. It starts in the police car as the officers approach the house. There is a dirty cat house, tower, and filled trash bags on the patio. That checks out. I can confirm that. That was a regular sight. Officers see kids inside the house through the window. It takes about 6 knocks from the police on the door yelling search warrant before someone responds. And the person responding is not an adult. This is why, like, anybody who wants to simp for April, go fuck yourself. After reading these notes, I went, just a fucking piece of shit. Just had become a complete junkie, low-life, selfish asshole. Because if you're a parent who's worth a shit, you do not let your kids go to that door when someone's banging on it because, like, if you're April, you're more concerned about filling up your cocaine bullet than you are going to that door. You're more worried about wondering how you're going to get rid of the drugs and hide your fucking degeneracy, you pig, instead of saving that kid from trauma. So that kid's now been traumatized because the cops had to knock down the door to get in. Because April, the nanny,
I'll tell you something.
is too good.
His kids have been traumatized too from when he was headbutting and choking on fucking what's her name, April. Remember all that stuff? Yeah, that happened in front of the goddamn retarded Charlie.
Not is that home?
Well, wait. Retarded Charlie. Who's retarded Charlie?
Ain't that his one kid's name, Charlie?
Louis. Gooey.
I don't know.
Louis.
Okay. All right. Well, his retarded Louis. Yeah. So, yeah, that's terrible.
What did they see?
I'm the headbutton guy.
There you go. Remember, April said that Louis was a retard and he lost his shit.
Not needed.
I do. Actually, that's never been confirmed that Louis is a tard, but I guess we should leave the kids. I don't even want to ask Nick that question. Actually, I asked Lemmy that. I asked Lemmy that question one time, just joking, like, and she got fucking pissed. And it was like, yeah, I get it, man. Actually, it is kind of leave the target.
Hey,
it's
you know what? This is fucking BYD, God damn it.
No, we don't go after the kid.
Well, not going after kids, but going on what Aaron said there. And I know this is semantics, but I would assume it would be traumatizing for his own kids to have to be taken to the police station when their father picked him up because his ex-wife had that in a condition because she was worried that Aaron may like do stuff.
Yeah, every time they go to trade the kids over, they have to do it in front of the police station. Their dad was arrested, put in jail. Their dad made the front page of a bunch of newspapers and news, like whatever, dude. Obvious
news segments on TV, even.
Exactly.
And also playing semantics. I don't know what the police are like in the States, but over here, when a copper knocks on your door, they normally bang on a door 6 times anyway. So, like, maybe that's just a misphrasing of the word that he was reading there. Maybe they meant they had to knock 6 different occasions, you know?
All right. Everybody thinks we're setting them up today. What the fuck? We're good though. But yeah, Rekieta's like, yeah, if Keanu or Jesse show up, I'm out. It's like, no, actually, I didn't set you up at all, buddy. You're a good Rekieta. You're good, Nick. I guess our reputation precedes us with the Mersh thing. Oh yeah, Mersh. Actually, I think Mersh and I didn't even consider that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think Rekieta and Mersh are buddies. So yeah, we did do that to Mersh. That's a fact check. Anyway, yeah, leaving is the option, of course. All right, let's finish this up.
Concerned about her fucking drugs to go see what's going on. So the kid's got to go through this, and now it's the cop's job to calm and take care of the child. So that annoyed me right off the bat. One of the children can be heard saying that daddy told her not to answer the door. Now, that's normally a good thing for parents to teach. But when your daddy taught you that because he's a fucking drug addict who doesn't want people finding his degeneracy, I mean, shit.
Well, I mean, isn't that one and the same, though? Like, no matter what, if you just tell your kid never to answer the fucking door, isn't that just good advice, period? Regardless of whether daddy's whatever daddy is. It's like, that doesn't even make any fucking sense. Don't answer the door, kids. That's pretty simple, good advice. Period. End of story. There's always a caveat with fucking Aaron, I swear, man.
Yeah, of course.
That's just dumb.
Look at the smug look on his face there, Quad, as well. Like that freeze frame. He looks pretty smug about what he just said too. And it's like, well, okay, Aaron, what did you tell your kids? Oh, that's right. You only have them once a week, right?
Those glasses he wears, they need like a chain. One of those chain things.
Librarian. The librarian lady look. Hey, can everyone be quiet? Can everyone shut up? That's right. Keep it quiet. We're trying to read books. We're nerds here.
As soon as the door is open, it is a literal labyrinth of clothes and stuff. Now, here's what's interesting.
Clothes and stuff.
Nick did not show pictures of the entryway, and he did not show pictures of the entryway to the hallway where the mountains of clothes are that you can't walk through the hallway. He did not show that on his stream last night. So, very interesting. That part.
It does seem like he did do that to me. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know. Whatever. If there are pictures that Nick didn't show us, obviously the entire stream of the body cam footage is a whole other story than just looking at pictures anyway. But whatever. Yeah, I would be curious to see what. I would assume that Nick can talk about that now. What were the ladies up to while the kids were trying to hang out? I don't know if they were hanging out by the front door. Obviously, they had to be close to it if they were talking through it, right? Or were they talking through the windows, which we'll show when we do this? I would think that the cop probably was at a side door or something where all the windows are, because he said he saw the kids, the cop.
Well, not only that, Quad, I'm thinking to myself, like, so I don't know how many kids Nick Rekieta's got, but I know, like, five kids. Well, of course, there's going to be clothes everywhere, right? Because there's 5 fucking kids in the house. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, when you see the clothes, it's going to, like, boggle your mind. But something Nick said to me today, like, it does. I said that, dude. I'm like, there's 7 people live in this house. 8, actually, with April, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Think of 7 days a week, 8 outfits in a week.
Yep.
And then maybe bedtime clothes too. Like, do the math on how many outfits that is, dude. That is so much fucking laundry. I can't even.
And $1 trillion.
It is 700 billion, pretty much.
What happened to Joe Biden?
Yeah, of course you're gonna have like fucking mountains of clothing.
Yeah, and again, it's funny to me that if anything, he should. Being critical here, he should lead with the drug shit more than the clothes stuff. But yeah, Aaron's like, no, I mentioned the clothes, and then tag on with the reason why that's like that is because they're drugged out their mind. It's like, no, shouldn't you tackle them for being on drugs rather than the state of the house first? But anyway. Honk.
No, okay, that's weird, man. These people are They actually really do want me.
You going over to Podolf, are you?
No. I'm not going anywhere. We're doing our show. No, I guess apparently they are asking for me to go over there during my show. I'm not doing that. It's all good. Yeah, they are asking me to ambush Nick. I guess that's what they want.
Part of the body cam. Not shown.
How do you have that many clothes? Just Jesus.
They don't do any laundry. You know, it's funny.
Not even doing laundry.
It's funny. One time Dan showed up and Dan and I were talking. He saw all the clothes. And he goes, all right, what's going on here? And I'm like, yeah, it's fucking a lot of clothes. Should be doing laundry, blah, blah. He goes, there's a laundromat 10 minutes down the road. You could just go do all the laundry there, have it done in a day. I'm like, yep, sure could. I mean, that was just that was a solid dude right there. So as soon as the door is open, it is a literal labyrinth of clothes and stuff. Hard to decipher where one room begins and another ends because every counter and table surface is covered in bottles, clothes, packages of food, and indicators of kids and their toys live there. There is not a lot of space to walk around the piles of stuff either. So, I mean, just
that makes
a
sense,
complete fucking pigsty. And again,
yeah, so they stepped around stuff, but there was nowhere to step. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not only that, it's hard to tell where one room begins and another one starts. Well, if you're not
when we look through the pictures, that it absolutely is not the case.
Yeah, not only that, it's nobody heard
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, nobody heard of the concept of a doorway. Like, surely there's doors there and stuff, you know? Like, so you could make it out, even if let's say it was worst case scenario, right? Nick Rekieta is a hoarder, yeah, and he lives like a hoarder. You still would make out, oh, here's a room here, there's a room there. You know, again, it's all semantics, of course, but
yeah. This is someone watching it with their eyeballs. This isn't someone with an agenda or anything. This is just a person.
Is it, a person with an agenda, a person we'll show the photos. We have no agenda here. And I really did not see what the big deal was about the house. And everything I've seen from what Nick has said about the photos being from, what do they call that? Disclosure from the prosecutor. Like he got, that's where the pictures came from, was his lawyer. So I don't.
What's also funny, what to me is like Aaron said there, that agenda. Well, yeah, and like you said, we've got no agenda here. That's only because it's Pride Month. At the end of this month, we'll have an agenda again. Boo, shit joke.
An agenda? What gender? Both? Nothing? I got
gender
nothing.
blender.
We have no agenda. You say agenda very weirdly, my friend. Agenda. Which gender? All right. Next up, we got some pictures. I thought this was kind of funny. What would the room look like without anything in it? Grok, of course. AI doing the work that nobody else can do. But there's the picture. Anyway, that's Grok. What would it look like? All cleaned up. Yeah, it looks very quaint. I mean, okay, that's the other thing I would like to point out is he does have a nice house. Like, it is a nice home. God darn it, my cursor's pissing me off, dude. I'm having nothing but issues tonight. But yeah.
What's funny with that is I'm looking at the Grok image, and it's like, well, the floor space is probably about the size of my what you guys would call the first floor, right? But over here we call the ground floor of my entire house. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I would say that, that area is as big as a lot of people's apartments for sure.
Yeah.
And you can look outside, you could very easily see he lives right next to the woods. Very nice.
But they did say April
on cursor.
They did say April was a woods girl, right?
Yeah, well, she's a hunter, even more so than a woods girl. All right. Then we just got a couple short videos, and hopefully perfect timing. Jesus Christ, there it is. We love it. But yeah, before we go any further, welcome to the stage, Mr. Nick Rekieta, and we have zero plans of ambushing you, sir. So rest easy, no worries.
No, that's
I am. Yeah, well, welcome.
Well, thanks, man. It's good to be on. Happy to be here. I appreciate the invite.
Happy to be here. Whoa, that's low-key pot awful. H2BH. That's what they all say. Yeah, no, I am getting messages to indeed do exactly what you said not to do. So I just looked at my Discord messages and there was like 50 messages. Like, what the hell's going on? Apparently, Keanu's on with Jesse PS like right now as we speak. So it was all weird timing. But yeah, I did fuck with Mersh and had pot awful, Jesse do that. So I can't blame you for being a little weary.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have any desire to encounter either of them.
Yeah, fair enough, man. No worries on that.
But other than that, like, I'm pumped to be on. Like, thanks for the invite.
Well,
yeah, I appreciate you coming on.
Well, the first question I got to ask you, Mr. Rekieta, is have you considered making a different YouTube channel where you could put all this drama onto?
Oh, God, no. I don't want to sit and talk about this shit. It's miserable.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. You would make money, right, if you did have, for example, Jesse from Pod Awful on a different channel, and because you got super tips, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would make money, but I already make money. I don't really need the assistance. It's not a bad idea. I just don't have any desire to sit and dwell on it. Like, it was it's a shitty part of my life, and like there's some level of having to deal with it, of course. But once it's done, like, I want to be fucking done with it, because it's, it gets tiring.
I mean, whatever. So, I mean, the basics is Aaron got to talk shit for how many months now? And you've been quiet.
It's been a year now, but it was 11. It was basically 11 months that he got to just say whatever he wanted. He got to frame the narrative. He said so much shit that's absolutely untrue, and I've been exposing some of that with his own messages and his own words. And because he's presented himself as a completely different person than he is, and so I could, like I said, I can show it with his own messages, and he should just be very fortunate that I'm not like Keanu and Gino, because I have so many more, directly from April, but I don't have any desire to release her messages beyond the one she gave me permission to release so long ago.
Yeah. And they've been shown at Heckmania and ever since then, and I think it's out there, and your story for the most part is out there. I do like that you got a chance now to like defend yourself as far as like the body cam and the arrest, and the more I was going through it and whatnot, I even have more of a favorable viewpoint on your side of the whole thing. It's like I kind of assumed that Aaron was a lying idiot. But the more I've looked into it and the more that comes out now, it's like, dude, your house does not look that bad. And the clothing thing and all that stuff, the size of the little bag of fucking coke that it ended up being, and it's like, are you kidding me? Like, I've bought way more drugs than that as well in my life. It's been a long time, but same.
His description, it's really funny. Like, I have all the recorded interviews that the cops did with everybody. Which I think some of my family members didn't realize was going to happen, that I would get those. So that's fun. But no, in Aaron's, he was describing, you get like, basically like a rock of cocaine, because the person I got it from is not like a street dealer. So you're not getting like crushed up powder. Like, you get kind of a chunk of stuff that's been vacuum sealed and compressed, and so you gotta bust it up yourself and chop it down into a nice fine powder. Otherwise, you're sucking down pebbles and that'll kill you. But so April and I would hang out in the bathroom and prepare the load of cocaine, I guess. And Aaron described it to the cops. He's like, it was the size of a laptop. And they're like, wait, so like it could fit like in a gallon sized bag? And he's like, just barely. And I'm like, are you fucking for real? A gallon sized bag? That's like $40,000 worth of cocaine. Like
it's like a kilo. You could put it like a kilo in a fucking gallon bag, probably.
Dude, he's just such a giant dork. And it comes across every single, like in everything he says. Just today he's talking about how we must have been freebasing in there. I'm like, did you look up like a drug word of the day and start just rattling off nonsense? Like freebasing is a chemical process that you have to do first to purify the coke before it'll just, you can't just light cocaine on fire.
It's called like crack, for example. Like
yeah.
that's the street name for like for what you freebase. Yeah.
Right. And he's like, yeah, they're probably in there freebasing. I'm like, what are you talking about? You've never seen us do anything like that. Just very straightforward. Got really good cocaine and it was pure, and tested it always just to make sure and be safe. And then you just do the cocaine because you don't really need to do anything to it. It just makes you feel awesome anyway. But he's got all these insane stories, and they're all so overblown. It's like it's emblematic of his personality. He is deception and hyperbole wrapped into a person that's retarded.
So,
yeah, agreed.
First off, I got to say this, Nick. You said you tested the drug, of course.
Yes.
Do you mean you were the guinea pig, and then everybody else could do the drug afterwards?
Yeah, guys. If I don't fall over dead, you could hit this all you want. It's fine.
Were you talking about like fentanyl testing or just purity tests?
No, I did. I would fentanyl and meth test everything we bought because no opiates and no meth is. That was my rule. Like I don't trust either of those substances. The other ones like Coke and Molly and ketamine, they're not, those are pretty low addiction substances. They're not like as physically addictive. They're psychologically addictive because they're fun. But so we never had any desire to do meth or to do any opiates at all. So we would just test it to make sure that it wasn't, dangerous in that way. Because you don't want to die. I guess. Like
no, I mean, nowadays, like the Coke, it's mixed with fentanyl so much. I actually would say the opposite. Like meth is probably way safer than. I don't know if that to be true, but at least with the bikers and stuff that I know around this area, the Coke is probably. I like whatever. When I did it, I was staying up for days doing crystal meth, which you could tell when it's like see-through chunks of glass, it's like pure. And I don't know what it's like nowadays. Wouldn't want to find out, honestly, but I'm all good on that stuff.
What
was that?
Hey, Nick Honk here. I got a quick question for you, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, when you tell us about this stuff here, I see a smile on your face. You had a good time, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's my question for you. Do you think if you would have never had the bus go down and all that stuff and everything, how it's transpired now, do you think that you would still be in a relationship with April and the Devil's Dust?
I don't think so. There was it came down to a rift kind of grew between Kayla and April, and once that rift like started to build, it wasn't going to go away, and eventually it was going to come down to like one or the other. It was just not sustainable. I don't know if I know some people pull off poly relationships and stuff, and I don't know how they do, because being with two women sounds great until you are there and you're trying not to bash your brains out with a hammer every day. But no, it was my theory is the only way it does work is if there's basically an equal relationship between the three people involved. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, but it has to be as meaningful as the other ones are. Otherwise, it becomes unbalanced and it just isn't sustainable. So no, I don't think it would have gone on. I think the same relationship wise, it would have gone down the same path. But I probably would have done drugs for a lot longer.
Yeah.
But
well, Nick, would you admit your own fault in that? That maybe, like, maybe you fell in love yourself when maybe you shouldn't have done?
Oh no, I 100% did. Yeah, that was like part of the deal, though. It was kind of hard to explain. And again, this is part of the problem with Aaron is he's framed everything as tawdry and like that this is just rock star sex and drugs fueled life. But I was going through my pictures the other day, and there's just a picture of me and Kayla and April sitting on the grass outside my daughter's dance recital. It was right before we got arrested, just within like 2 or 3 weeks, and we're just sitting on the grass, and we just look like a family. Like it's not a conventional one, of course, and it was like that's what our life was like, though. 99% of the time, like just like normal people, right? Your life is your normal everyday thing that you go do, and then you do, you have your own hobbies and you party and you do whatever you want to do. Like that's separate. That's not the main thing you're doing every day. The way Aaron framed it out was that's all we did, but that's because Aaron wasn't around very much. Aaron was always back at his house in St. Cloud. To do his show, 2 times a day, Monday through Wednesday, and then once a day, Thursday, Friday.
Because you guys are like an hour away, so like the traveling in between probably was almost damn near impossible for him to show up to his morning show and party all night with you guys. It seems like he chose the show, but obviously that's his thing. He had to.
He wasn't around a lot, and there's some of the messages I've released. You can start to see the resentment build, and it's really early. It's late January, early February, where he starts getting lonely all the time, and he's like, this doesn't seem fair or whatever. And it's like, well, I mean, it's kind of on you, buddy. Like you don't have to be there. Like you could be hanging out or whatever. But he always wanted to be at his place for his show, and so he just wasn't around. And then our nanny quit February 16th, I think it was. But then she was like sick for 10 of the 10 days out of the 2 weeks, and but so by March 1st she's gone completely. And then Aaron decided to suggest that April be our replacement nanny, and that she would come and like basically live down at our house all the time. And it was like, okay, thanks.
pass her off onto you. Maybe offloaded her on you guys.
It was a weird decision because it came out of nowhere. He just messages me and he's like, hey, I was telling April that she should be your nanny and she should hang out and just be down there all the time. And like, I'll try and make it down more. I was like, yeah, please don't. Please. This is a bad idea. This is a very bad idea for you.
How did you guys sell or not sell, but how did you guys explain April being around to the kids? Just she's the nanny. It just worked out naturally. It didn't.
Yeah, I mean, she was our friend, and then when the other nanny left, she became the nanny, so to speak. She just nannies.
So you already had a live-in nanny, so it was almost like a streamless. Just move into the new nanny. Here she is.
Minor clarification: our first nanny was not a live-in. She lived in her own place. She came, she did basically a 9-to-5 type situation at our house. So she would drive out in the morning and then she would go home. She didn't. We did not have a room for her. But yeah,
you weren't banging that one.
No, not at all. She's not my type, not my style, at all. But and I. And when we hired her, I wouldn't have done that. When we hired her, I was very, very monogamous, and I still I am monogamous still. Like this, the relationship was aberrant in our relationship. It's not something we do. This isn't we get called swingers all the time, and I take minor umbrage with the phrase just because it's like, well, we don't do this. Like this isn't a character of us. We ended up in a relationship with with these other people, and that was weird. That's out of character. It was something that we decided to try, but we had decided to try it.
So that was the first swinging couple that you'd ever tried ever.
Yep.
All right.
So it's
I mean, because of course everybody says you guys went down to hedonism and you did the whole thing. I know I've heard you explain.
We went down to hedonism.
Nudity.
Yeah, we went down to hedonism twice. It's my favorite place on earth. I'll go back a million times, but we don't have sex with other people while we're there. It's just you get to hang out and party, and it's freedom, and no one's mad. And I'm like not a huge exhibitionist, but I'm definitely a little bit of one. So I don't mind the public like nudity or public location appropriate sex. Like it's permissible there. Like you can just have sex outside or whatever. And if people happen to see, I don't give a shit. Like it doesn't bother me at all.
I'm sorry, Nick. That's the equivalent of somebody going to a theme park and not going on any of the rides, right? Like it seems pointless. Why would you go if you weren't going to do that, right?
There's plenty of fun to be had in hedonism as just a monogamous couple. Like there's the wild crazy side where you just get to like they have a nightclub and you get to just hang out with your partner as you would anywhere else. So they have that and all those activities. They have a full service spa. It's an all inclusive resort. They also have like this tantric. It's like a tantric temple, I don't know, house or whatever, and they like kind of introduce you to tantric practice, I guess, at a low level. But that place is really cool, and that's very much like you and your partner. That's not you and anybody. There's no sex involved. But it's very intimate, and it's like a completely different speed than the rest of the resort, which is very high energy. This is very relaxed and calm and intimate and romantic, and it's really cool too, though.
So would you say that you would rather go and watch others than
no?
Like, all right.
No, I don't care about like
voyeurism.
Most of the people there are hideous. You have to understand.
I've been to a nude beach, and when I went to a nude beach, it was all old, ugly, fat people that I did not want to see naked. So is hedonism kind of maybe a little bit better, but not much?
It's a little bit better, but definitely like Lady Rackets and I would be in the more attractive couples that were there. Like most of the people, it is populated by a lot of swingers, and they tend to be in their 50s and 60s. The kids are out of the house, and they take on this. They decide to take on this lifestyle, and so they tend to trend a little bit upwards in age, which is like it's awesome. Go for it, all you want, but I'm just there because there's all you can drink alcohol. There's drugs that you can get right there on the beach, and there's a nightclub that's on there that has a 20-foot high stripper pole, which I'm definitely on that thing. That's super fun, and it's just freedom, man. And doing karaoke naked is weird, but I recommend everybody try it. It's funny.
Yeah, your giblets are bouncing around probably when you start singing. That's all gotta be weird.
Wild. But it's it's been outed that we went there, so I don't mind saying it now, but people were all pissed off that I wouldn't say it before. And it's like, look, guys, I've told you basically everything you need to know to figure out we were at hedonism. I didn't care. I just didn't want to clip out there, like going to my family saying, oh yeah, I'm going to hedonism too. Like, because people have an automatic assumption of what's going on if you're going to go to hedonism. It's like, well, we didn't go there.
That leads me to another question there, Nick. How have you been received like in your community? I mean, do you get strange looks at the stop signs now as you're driving by, or
no? There's
is church awkward now?
We go to a different church now, but but our kids still do activities at the old church. There's a misperception based on how the initial reporting and release of information came out that it was our community or the church community that reported us. It wasn't. The people who reported us were not in our church community. They took advantage of a pastor who was just about to retire. He's probably losing his mental faculties, and he was influenced, as he stated in his interview, he was influenced by edited videos of me talking about faith and the Bible. The people would edit out all the disclaimers of, this is not theology. I am not your pastor. This is not even what I believe. This is how you, what I would do is apply various literary, like critical literary theories to different texts in the Bible and see if they were internally consistent. It's a consistency test. And what I found was like, I could apply feminist theory to the story of the birth of Jesus and still come out with, with God elevating someone born at the lowest to be the king of the world or king of the universe or whatever. And the story still checks out. It's still actually the only thing you do is you maybe demystify the birth of Jesus and use the mysticism as a metaphor for something that is terrible. This would be the feminist critical theory, not what I believe.
Blaspheme, blasphemer, burn him.
But when you do this, you still find Christ that is God manifest into a low born person, and then that person becomes the most influential person in all of history, and it's consistent with the Christ story. But they took out all the parts where I said, this isn't theology, this isn't what I believe. And then they just had this thing. So then my pastor gets this, video, and he's like, oh my God, this is heresy going on. So then he was more willing to entertain these stories that came in about us. And the stories are so insanely untrue. For one of them is that our kids were like never changed their clothes and were stinky. Like you guys have seen the pictures, or I know at least you have, but the pictures of our kids' closet. And that's taken on the day of the raid. I mean, it's just full of clothes. The kids have infinite clothes that they can wear. Our house had so much food in it that it's embarrassing. And even the stupid video description, the description of the video mentions like there's food and stuff everywhere. It's like, well, if they're starving, why is there food everywhere? But our pastor got kind of hoodwinked by all of it because, like I said, he was old and stupid. I really don't like him anymore.
Wait, sorry, Nick. You said it wasn't...
And just because he's a pastor doesn't make him perfect. And we all know who snitched on you. His name is Aaron Imholte. Let's not all kid ourselves. He got the ball rolling. He absolutely got. We know he was named in it, and he proudly exclaimed, "Yeah, I snitched on them at Cheetos at the anniversary show." He's on record saying, "Yes, I fucking did it gladly."
And then he tried to walk that back several times, but it's like,
but he slowly got to that point in the first place. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like he worked up to it.
If I share my screen real quick,
you can share it down there at the bottom.
This is one of the things that let's see. This is the one. Okay. So this is one of the things that people brought up as I was showing these pictures on my show yesterday. They're like, well, those were taken at a different date, and they were not. These are all pictures taken by the police during the raid. And if you pull up my screen, I'll show the metadata that shows when the pictures were taken.
Cool.
I just wanted to.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, Nick, because people were saying that in the chat about metadata, and I was going to say just to prove your point, I guess, right? Because you're saying that they're the same.
Yeah. So if you look at this and you go over to the right side here, there's a modified date because I transferred the files just earlier today. They were on my phone. I had to get them over to my computer. But if you take a look at the date taken on all of them, it's 5/23/2024, 9:24 a.m. 5/23/2024, 9:24 a.m. These pictures are taken like right next to each other. It's really easy for them to move. So here's another one, 9:26 a.m. Every one of the pictures is 5/23/2024. None of them were taken on a different date. None of them were taken after CPS came and inspected our cleaned up house. This is what it looked like while the cops are going through it. And there are certainly areas that are cluttered. Absolutely. And I did not show any pictures of bedrooms. And I'll flat out say my bedroom's a disaster. but that's where I live. Like, that's not something I put the kids through or whatever. It's that's what I have to deal with. And that's like, it's annoying and frustrating, and it's something I'm looking to get around to, but I do have to spend a lot of time out in the main house, keeping it livable. But
yeah, it's almost like you have eight people when you have a nanny living at that freaking place. So I can imagine just the 7 of you, like the amount of clothing that you would go through on a weekly basis, like 7 outfits just to wear during the day. And then if you wear jammies or you like change your clothes one time during the day, then yeah, dude, it adds up. I get it.
You know, I have a 12. Well, she was 11 at the time. 11-year-old girl. I mean, she changes outfits multiple times during the day. April and Kayla changed outfits all the time. Like they would wear 2 to 3 outfits a day.
Right. Yeah, and you could just see by the amount of clothing for the kids. It's like, Jesus, dude, that it looks like a small clothing store for. It looks like a kids' clothing store. It really does, dude.
Yeah. And mind you, like if you go to the picture of the living room where the laundry is all spread out or whatever, like we have a shitload of laundry also. Like it's in piles. It's organized out. That's right. Our laundry room is right kind of off of that main living space. So that's why it's in that area. And we had gotten everything ready. It was springtime, and we were changing out the kids because they had moved up in clothes sizes. So we were trying to get rid of, we were trying to get, the clothes that the kids are no longer wearing put away to be sent to like Goodwill and stuff like that. But we were washing all of these clothes, but we still, even in light of that, the kids had full closets full of stuff. There's no wanting for clothing or food or anything in our house. So the whole point of that is like that blindsided us, that was the narrative, that the kids were hungry or didn't have clean clothes. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What am I spending all this money on them?
Just showed legit clips of the body cam footage. The place was disgusting, covered in trash, and there were cans of Reddit whip all over the place. These photos were obviously taken after cleanup.
Sure.
Well, you just showed the data, so I don't know if both things can be true at the same time, but it sure doesn't seem like it.
I'm literally being arrested at this time, 9:29. Like I think I'm put in handcuffs at like 9:36 or something. Like it's this is happening while I'm outside yelling at cops. So I don't know what else to say. No one's gonna believe it. Even if I played the body cam footage, people wouldn't believe it. But people demanding access into my bedroom and the privacy of my wife and children, mostly, it's like, no, I'm not gonna give that to you. It doesn't. What I gave is more than anyone should ever have to in the first place. But no, like the notion that I somehow owe this to anybody is insane.
Well, Nick, is there no way that you could like release the footage with like edits on it, for example? Are you not happy to like do a compromise there with that?
No, I'm not happy to do that at all. I have no intention to release any of the body cam footage at this time. It's private. It's the fact that it was displayed by the county is actually unlawful, and the remedy for it is massive. And I'm strongly considering suing the county because there's no way around it, right? Like, so they either willfully release this footage, which they knew they could not do. And if that's the case, it's a double damages reward. If they didn't willfully do it, they negligently did it, and I'm still entitled to damages. And then, so the damages are any normal damages plus attorney's fees plus between $1,000 and $15,000 if it's negligence, $2,000 and $30,000 if it's willful in exemplary damages. And now here's the thing. There are 7 plaintiffs, right? Because there's me, my wife, and our 5 children, all of whom's privacy was violated. So that's, it's up to $30,000 times 7 times 2, because 2 people were, the video was disclosed to 2 different people So that's
Well, what
that's
about
for
kids? You could do 7 times that, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it'd be $420,000 in exemplary damages, and then that's on top of economic damages that I'm sustaining from this, and I absolutely am. Like, this is highly damaging to my reputation because the way these insane women, and they are fucking crazy. The Miss K or whatever, the Lady K, or that woman is fucking baddie. I sat and talked to her because she came to every hearing.
Oh, the lady that like Will Heron had come out to all the trial.
Yeah, she's
no trial. Sorry, no trial. Omnibus
Right.
hearings and whatnot.
Yep, and she's legitimately fucking. That woman is certifiable. She needs help. But like I sat down to talk to her. I was very kind and very polite because the first time I met her, I was she was at Kayla's hearing, I think. And I just went outside and waited, and I took a picture of her coming out of the courthouse because I knew that's what she wanted to do to us. And she kind of fucking lost her mind about it. And I was like, too bad. Like, this is
fair is fair, right? You take pictures of me, I take pictures of you. That's how it goes.
And so, so then Will Heron interviewed her after that. And he kind of let me know that she has a backstory of a lot of trauma that was associated with an addict in her life. I think her mother or father or both. And so then I felt a little bad, right? And I tried to empathize. And so the next hearing that she showed up at, I said, hey, I think we got off on the wrong foot. I kind of came off a little aggressive. I'm sorry. People are coming at us and I don't know who anybody is. And so I sat down and tried to hear her story. And she's just telling me she's really concerned about my kids. And I'm like, look, I got to tell you, my kids are actually in really good shape. It was very traumatic. It was traumatic to go through this. And I fucking hate that I caused it. I really do. But there's nothing I can do about that now. It happened. So, but the reality is that both before and after all of this, I and Kayla have really, really strong relationships with our kids. I mean, our 17-year-old has been homeschooled since he was 4. And I have not worked outside of the home since he was 1.5. So the amount of time that I've spent with my kids is monumental. When you compare it to what a normal father has the opportunity to do, because they leave for work 12 hours a day. I'm home all day with the kids, and I have been their entire lives. So the level of relationship that we have was exceedingly strong before this. It's even stronger now afterwards.
Well, Nick, would you say your 17-year-old knows that drugs are bad, right? Considering you said you spend time with him all the time.
Yeah. And our kids had no idea that there was any drugs. They told that to the county. They never saw any. They were never around any. They never saw us intoxicated or acting strange in any way. I know, again, there's salacious stories about how we were doing drugs around the children, but we really weren't. And I didn't know the kids were going to be interviewed by the county ever in their lives. I didn't prep them to give those answers. And all 5 of them gave the exact same answers. They'd never seen it. They didn't even know what it would look like if mom and dad were intoxicated, because they've never seen us acting out of character or unable to function. Because we're not dumb, right? The whole thing is all these stories assume that we're fucking insane or retarded. And it's we're not either of those things. Maybe made some bad decisions, but all around, we try.
Not only that, Nick, you wouldn't want to share your drugs with your kids anyway, right? Because you want to do them yourself, right?
I don't know why anyone would suggest that you would want to give cocaine to a child. It's no, I want them to.
Well, I mean, let's say your kid was having a hard time keeping up with his homework and his chores, and you wanted to give him a booster so that they could do better. Well, hey.
No.
Dave Sarah, our buddy that comes on our show all the time, he says he has ADHD, and doing cocaine actually helps him. It settles him down. So
they treat ADHD.
Hey, all jokes. No kids do drugs. No.
So Aaron tells a story about me. He says that this is evidence that I dosed my daughter, which is insane. He says that I tell a story about how cocaine works in people with ADHD's brain. And that story is partially true, but I wasn't limiting it to cocaine. I was talking about how stimulants work in an ADHD brain. and that cocaine happens to be a really strong stimulant, so it functions a little bit differently for someone with ADHD. And if you know anyone with it who takes cocaine, they don't react the same way. They don't like juice up like normal. They'll stay awake, and they'll get the same things where it like helps with alcohol and stuff, but they don't get like amped. They just kind of get they get a little bit more calm, and it's like Ritalin or Adderall in that way. And so
Right.
I had talked to Aaron about that, but I wasn't making any particular point about cocaine at the time. I was actually talking about prescription stimulants because I have prescription stimulants. I have also narcolepsy. I have ADHD. So, like taking those medications, I was talking about why they don't make me go into fucking cardiac arrest and spaz out.
How about like Adderall? Do you take a Hab, or you probably don't take Adderall now, but have you?
No, I do. I have a prescription for
okay.
Adderall, but it's very low dose. It's 10 milligrams, and I take like one a day. That's
tons of people take Adderall without a prescription. I figured maybe you've had some of those laying around at some point. Whatever, you've tried lots of drugs. The ketamine.
Here's my Adderall. But
fair enough.
Empty. I've got a refill upstairs, but yeah, it's 10 milligrams quick release Adderall. The lowest dose you can get. Because I don't really like Adderall, and I don't really like Ritalin. I take Provigil for my main narcolepsy treatment. And
sorry, now I've got to cut you off there. You don't like Adderall, but you're still taking it.
Well, I don't find Adderall fun. I take Adderall because there are times when even with Provigil, like my narcolepsy will hit and I need to like be awake to drive or do whatever. So then I just have a small dose quick release Adderall, and then then I get to move on with my day. But it's not like I've never taken Adderall and had it be fun, or like exciting in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
All right, maybe go through some of these super chats, and I think we should check out the photographs. Maybe take a tour of the inside of your home, I guess. Even though that's not probably
it's. I mean, I've done it. I didn't mean to do. I was going to do it here. I didn't mean to do it on my channel, but I just needed it got to the point where some shit needed to be addressed, and so I released them there. But yeah, I'm definitely here to show some of these pictures and just the state of our house. Like I said, there are certainly parts of our house that like my room in particular is much messier, but I've kind of gotten I got used to that. I pour my efforts into the parts of the house where the family interacts and the kids hang out.
It shows. Actually, just going through the pictures, naturally getting busted on a day you weren't ready to show off your house. It definitely shows. Like most of the areas the kids hang out is clean from my point of view. But we'll go through that. Reverend Rage, member for 9 months. Nick, do you think Stuttering John has a case against Shuley and Carl? I'm assuming he's talking about recording him in secret and then making money at monetizing the content house that they did off of the phone calls that they recorded.
Okay, so they recorded him in secret. Well, it really depends on where the recordings were done, what state they're in.
He was in Florida, and the lady was in New York.
So wait, Stuttering John, who's doing the recording?
Kate Meany, who was anyway, she's like a famous comedian's daughter.
I've heard of her.
Yeah, she was recording Stuttering John in secret, and then Shuley and Carl from WATP and the Shuley Network, they released those, but they monetized it. Like they did a live content house stream, and we're like pretty much selling.
So the question then for their liability comes into if they were part of we'll call it a conspiracy, but part of the association that is acquiring the footage, or if they're just getting it after the fact. I mean, if they're getting the footage that someone else got, like without their influence, then no. I mean, they have journalistic privilege on that. It's I know it's entertainment, but you have the ability to release footage that was illegally obtained if you were not complicit, like a part of illegal obtaining of the footage. If it's given to you by someone
Yeah,
else
yeah.
who did it, then yeah,
That's exactly how it was. Yeah,
and
she
that- yeah.
did the recording and then just handed it off later. So that's how it worked.
Yeah, there's a Supreme Court case on. I don't remember the exact citation, but there's a Supreme Court case specifically on it. It was a radio program, and they received illegal recordings that were given to them anonymously. They didn't have anything to do with making the recordings, but the recordings were newsworthy about a public figure, and so then they played them, and they were protected by journalistic shield.
And Stuttering John is a public figure as well, so there's that on top of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, Kate Meany recording him surreptitiously, that would be like, there'd be probably a really big case there against her.
That's on her. Indeed. She likes cocaine as well. So
everybody does. Like,
everybody does.
It's funny when you read back, like, so I read this article several months ago, and they found they autopsied these mummified remains or like preserved remains. Holy Jesus. These preserved remains in Europe. And they found out that cocaine had actually made it to Portugal and Spain something like 200 years earlier than they had originally thought. They found cocaine metabolites in the brain of these corpses, right? Mm-hmm. And basically the descriptions of when they got to when the first like people wrote about encountering cocaine when they made it over to South America, they're like, these people run around all day, they never sleep, and they don't eat and they don't drink anything, and they're just great. So
they were chewing on the cocoa leaves forever, I'm sure.
Yep. And so they immediately like got
time.
them. They got them, and they're like, we need to bring these back and like get this going, this magic plant. And
magic plant.
Everybody likes it. It's the funniest thing is hearing a white girl be like, I love cocaine. It's like, yeah, you and all the rest of you.
Yeah, you're kind. Gary Biscayne, send Keanu the link. $2. Thank you, Gary Biscayne. AKA Chino Bisconte. Gary Biscayne, $2. I have a picture of Kayla too. No, you don't. You erased it. We all know you said you erased it. So actually, you said you erased it almost immediately, unless you're telling fibs, Gino.
Your boy didn't do too bad, did he?
So not necessarily.
Anna Kasparian being interested in this was the nuttiest thing. It's like, man, I want to somehow translate this into interviewing her so I can show the picture of her that I turned into Muhammad. Like that's what I want to do. I want to be like, Anna, did you see the picture of you that I used MS Paint and turned it into Muhammad? And
that's hilarious.
Here, let's see. Here I have.
Nick, can you teach me how to be a good Coke user? Jacob Ryan S. Thank you, big dog.
Yes, I can. I can't do any. But I have the knowledge. I have the skill set. I have a proven track record of success.
That's right. You just can't be around it anymore. That's other than that, you're good to go.
And I make a lot of jokes, but like since at first I was really pissed off about what probation was going to be like and stuff, but like once I actually got sober and like was sentenced, and it's like this is it now you're on probation. I haven't given a shit about coke or alcohol or anything like that. Like I started streaming again, and that's what I really needed to be doing. I needed to get busy.
You've been staying busy with it, so you're doing the deed, man. That's good. Keep doing
and
that.
I'm having too much fucking fun with like Chat GPT and these like AI things, which I think like shouldn't even be allowed because they're too fucking funny. Like what you can do with them. So
Nick, you got a hot body? I think that's a question. I don't think that's a statement. It has a question mark on it.
Got a question mark. Yes.
All right, there you go, Rachel.
Always go with confidence into that question, I think.
Kiki Loco member for 9 months. Pot Awful just showed the body cam footage. You lie. Lies. There's no way. Nobody has the body cam footage. If Josh Moon didn't have it, then nobody's got it.
You know what Josh Moon does have? A bunch of virgin rage at not having the body cam footage right now. He is chimping out at the internet, and it's so funny because it's like that's his whole His whole show is about not being that way, and my man is losing his goddamn mind. He's like, I'm gonna get that footage. Like, settle down, Josh.
Okay, well, here's the one thing I wanted to ask. A lot of people have said that you're like a hypocrite for the fact that you have stated in the past that like you're a libertarian and that you believe like all body cam footage should be allowed to be seen by the public.
I've been waiting for someone. I very well may have said that. That may be something I have said. I don't remember saying that specifically. I know I've talked about the importance of body cam footage when there's questions about police behavior and the importance of the public to have access to them. That is true. That being said, if people want to call me a hypocrite because I've said that, that there's a liberty value in body cam footage and holding cops accountable. Okay, if you want to call me a hypocrite for that, that's fine. But one thing, I've rarely ever reviewed body cams on my show. People have asked me to do like the body cam channels, and I really don't do them. There are very few cases, and I believe they were all officer involved shootings in which we reviewed body cam footage on my channel. I don't recall ever reviewing body cam footage of the inside of someone's home or any sort of private situation of somebody. It was always in public, like again, officer involved shooting, and maybe like a DUI arrest or two. But I don't do the DUI body cam footage very often. I think I did with Gage Grosskowitz, the guy who got his arm vaporized by Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, in Minneapolis.
Yeah, or in Kenosha, Wisconsin. But it was I think I did the body cam footage of his DUI arrest, but that's not in his home. That's a guy driving on public roadways and getting arrested for public behavior. If you want to call that hypocrisy, okay. I don't have any problem with that label. I'll disagree, but I'm not like going to sit here and say that I don't see the point. I just if you look at my track record of how I've conducted myself on my channel, people keep telling me that I pry into the private lives of others, but I don't. And I keep asking them, like, where's the clip? Like, play the fucking clip?
Play the clip. As we will.
Give me a specific example of it, and I'll concede that I just can't remember. I've been doing this for 7 years, so I can't remember everything that I've covered, but I don't recall ever doing that. And so, again, it's I guess where you fall on the hypocrisy measure, but libertarians often espouse like how things should be, but we all have to live under the law that is. Like, that's just the reality, right? Like, if I think murder should be okay, as long as they're whatever race or something, but the law doesn't say that, I don't get to live by what I think it should be. I have to live by what the law is.
Yes, sovereign citizens learn that on a daily basis as we watch all the time. I don't live by your law dog, but when they're pulling you out of the car, you all of a sudden you're living by their law real quick.
Yeah, and of course, and everybody should, right? Like, if the system is set up one way, you can have an ideal that it should be something different, but the system is set up this way. You're subject to its laws and rules. You should also use those rules to your own protection and advantage. Like, to suggest otherwise is crazy. The fact that you disagree with how a system is doesn't mean you shouldn't take advantage of the system that exists, because it's rigged against you in a very particular way. So you should use the tools that you have to defend yourself within that system, even if you think that there should be different tools.
There you go. Oh shit. Let me get back to that one. Potiphal has the body cam footage. Take his call. No.
This is funny because we don't ever have Ready Whip in our house. Like, it's not a thing that we.
No, like I was trying to look on that counter and be like, I see a lot of like water containers, or you know what I mean, like liquid containers. But whatever, we'll be showing that here in a second again. We'll get back to that. But yeah, I didn't see any whippet like I've seen people do the whippets from the cans that are very specifically made for nitrous oxide. I did not see anything like that. So I am a fan of Pot Awful. I will probably end up going and watching that show. He live streamed us probably for about half an hour there. So he just wrapped it up on his end. Yay, come on over here and watch us, guys, instead of that. There you go.
There you go.
Bit for Schrains. That's not shit for brains there, feller? $5. Pot Awful showed body cam, ready whip on counter, children in squalor. Are you happy to be here?
Yes, my children are living in squalor, a life of abject poverty. You can tell by the house.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
Nick,
like
would you
all
say
those.
your children are definitely happy to be there in that squalor, right?
They are always happy to be here. Yes, and they like again for whatever it's worth. You got to look at like the good silver linings and the shitty clouds or whatever. But the time once the kids came back, it was they were so thankful to be home and back with us that their behavior dramatically improved. Like it just automatically did. And I mean that they stopped fighting with each other. Like they really came to appreciate, the fact that things could change really quickly.
So Nick, are you saying there's some positives to come out of this whole situation, right?
I'm saying there are better ways to get to those same results, but when you have a shitty road to take, like you look at the good that comes from the destination after you've taken it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so everybody have your kids taken away for a couple of months, and it'll jog them, straighten
Don't
them
do
out.
it. Just appreciate the hell out of them while they're there. Like, don't look at them as a burden. Don't look at them as something you have to deal with. I mean, they're the best people on earth. They're the best people in your life.
That's right. I did see you talking about like going through somewhat of a midlife crisis at some point. It seems like you were like the trad dad, had everything going for you. You were happy with the way things were working out with doing the law tube. Maybe got a little bored with just having the plain life, and I don't know. You tried some coke, and what? The rest is history.
No, that's not actually how it happened at all. The story of how it happened is much different than everybody thinks. But the long and short is, at 40, I decided I wanted to try out some hard drugs that I had never done before. I was like, well, this seems like a good idea. Seems like a good idea. And again, I have reasons for it, but those are private. And sometimes everything like from the viewer's perspective can seem one way, and things were that way for a really long time, and then they weren't. And so, I would spend a lot of my time trying to get things in my life course corrected in the background. But you live when you're a streamer as a profession, like you live in public. And so having to deal with that stuff in public was almost impossible. And then, people start to notice something is up, and they want to know what it is. And they're like, what's up? What's going on with this person? And you're like, well, I really don't want to tell you because it's not your business at all. But I was dealing with a whole bunch of different things collapsing, and it all happened at the same time. So I didn't just randomly decide to go become non-monogamous. I didn't just decide. I was like, I wasn't looking for any person. I wasn't out trying to sow my royal oats or whatever, like coming to America.
Right.
We happened into this thing. It was not really. It was never part of the plan.
And then Aaron and April just happened to come along, huh? Kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean, I went and did the comedy show with them.
Chrissy to replace Chrissy. Yeah.
Well, I was going to be there with Chrissy. I wasn't there to replace her. I just did a longer set since she wasn't there. But she invited me to come out and do it. She's like, hey, I'm going to be in Minnesota. We should do something together. You want to do stand-up? And I was like, yes. I mean, that sounds really stupid because I know stand-up comedy is a specific art form. I've never done it. So I know I'm going to be really fucking bad, but that'll be fun. Like, let's try it. Let's do it. And, so I was going to go do that, but then, the tragedy happened with her father, and they're like, hey, do you want to do like a longer set? You want to do like 30 minutes? I was like, how long was I going to do? They're like 10 minutes. I was like, I don't even know how to do a sentence in 10 minutes. What are you talking about? Why didn't you tell me that? I would have said no. but then they gave me 30 minutes. I think I took like almost an hour though, because they were trying to signal me. They're like, get off the stage, you fucking idiot. And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even know what the light was doing. I was like, why is the light at me?
Why is that light blinking? This is annoying. Shut that light up.
Yeah. But I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know what they were expecting. But yeah, I had, aside from that, like I'd met April on Simpcast like a year prior, but we didn't have any particular interaction other than just as a panel of like 7 people, or it might have been 8 people. Like Alex Stein was on it for a little bit too, and so like but there was nothing about like meeting her on that show that like I didn't go, oh, I really like this chick or whatever. I was just like, she was just someone on a show.
Someday I'm gonna bang that lady.
But then then we did the comedy show, and she and I like hit it off as friends like right away. Very like she was very friendly the night of the comedy show. And of course Aaron like abandoned her most of that night anyway, so that was kind of dumb of him, I guess. But when we were eventually all reunited, I did lick his face. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, licking your face, weirdo. What are you talking about?
That's the day he said, someday I'm gonna fuck this guy or get fucked by him. One of the two.
It's been so weird, like going back and like reviewing all the messages and stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, this dude kept saying he loved me all the time. This is fucking awkward. But I didn't care at the time because I was on Molly like all the time. And so, like if someone says they love you while you're on Molly, you're like, I know.
He got what he wanted. He tricked you into getting the goo. That's all he ever wanted out of you.
He got a vanilla shake, I guess.
Yeah, he got it. All right. Well, I hope you got a few more minutes to hang out and look at some pictures with us. If not, we'll get to them now. But
yeah,
let me read like these.
If we could, I don't have too much more time. So
yeah, 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, I promised the lady I'd hang out with her tonight. So
okay, absolutely. Release the footage. We saw the floors filthy. Prove you are not lying to by showing the body cam. Showing the pictures is a pretty good fucking second place. I would. What do they call that? A consolation prize.
Yeah. I figured it was a fair compromise, honestly.
Well, that's why
Keanu Thompson, $5. Nick is shredding his house privacy by showing those photos. Hi, Nicky boy.
Yes, I am. It sucks. I don't want to do it. But when you have insane people who lie about you, what do you do? Like, but I'm not going to release the body cam footage again. There are limits to what people should see. I don't have to release anything.
Yeah, I would protect your kids' rooms and shit if I could, for sure, man. Absolutely. That kind of stuff, definitely. Yeah, Keanu. Come on, Keanu. What are you doing? Why are you chipping at him? Soup Party, member for 1 month. Do a backflip. Nick is gay. All right, Soup Party. You're a joke. You're a real joke.
And
yeah, do a backflip. Snowy Hurricane, $5. Why are you letting the cops and community lie to your family? Man the fuck up and air this nonsense out.
Wait, do you mean like air out the community? Is that a suggestion for a mass shooting? Like I don't know, man. Seems a little
air them out
like a hazard.
Yeah,
that's a little bit hostile, I think.
Yeah, that's a little too far. Come on, people, now be reasonable. All right, and we got this one. Let me go full screen. We'll show some pictures. We'll do a house tour in the worst possible way. Jay, $5. Nick, thoughts on the latest trash can segment about you? Ethan is so willingly misinformed. It's sad. Any chance of you doing a show with him soon? Ethan Ralph, I assume, right?
No.
Oh, Ethan Van Sciver. That guy.
Yeah, I love Ethan. Like he disagrees with me on some stuff. I've never had a problem with that. I didn't watch the latest Trashcast segment about me. I don't really care. I talked to him in private about it, and I told him what was going on in my head during all of that, and I said I appreciate your advice, and you're not wrong, but we have different concepts of what was supposed to be happening during that encounter. And I achieved the purpose that I wanted just fine.
Finkelstein shit kid. Nick is such an a-hole. He talks on both sides of his arse. I was on Molly all the time. My kids never saw me high. Juxtaposition. Your kids were always around, right? So
no, actually they weren't. They were. This is part of the thing. My parents came up and took our kids multiple times during the relationship, and they would just take the kids for like a week to 10 days. And so, we'd have a week to 10 days of just kind of freedom or whatever. And so we would just party a lot. Like, look, when I say I was on Molly all the time, I don't mean I was constantly on Molly every single second of the day. I was on Molly a lot. I was on Molly more than you should be on Molly, because you should really take 6 to 8 weeks between each dose of Molly, like to have it actually affect really well. But it's not like I was walking around on Molly with my children around. Like there's a daytime and there's a nighttime. There's your kids being around and not around. There are ways to manage these things. It's not that complicated.
Fair enough. All right. And great to see you, Nick. I followed you since before Rittenhouse. Now following you with the Karen Reed. Glad you are up and running again. Boom.
Hey, man.
Got
Thanks.
it. All right. So yeah, this is pretty much your kitchen front room. There's a couple fucking dishes. Whoop-de-doo. There's kids stuff over there on that counter. You got a nice place for everything I've seen. You got a really nice house, all nice wood, dressers, drawers, cabinets.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that it's hard to talk about and not sound like an asshole. I was trying to describe it earlier, like over the past year, because people were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you had drugs in your room." I'm like, "This is a 5,000 square foot house.
That's huge."
The drugs in our bathroom. So if that hallway on the left side of the picture goes down to our bedroom suite, the master bedroom suite, which has the laundry room, a huge walk-in closet, a very large bathroom, which you have pictures of the bathroom, and then the bedroom, and that's all behind locked doors, right? So, but that area is there. The kids area is downstairs, and then it's like directly below the master bedroom. So you have to go like out down the hallway, over to the front door, down the steps, and then back down a hallway. So you're doing like a horseshoe. It's as far away as it can possibly be from the kids' rooms. And
then the kids have their own this is downstairs where you were saying like their area, right?
Yeah, this is where the kids like eat and do their homework a lot of times, and
they have their own kitchen, right?
Yeah, it's a kitchenette. It's mostly a fridge and a sink.
Yeah, but shit.
Yeah,
most people don't.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's hard to say without sounding like an asshole, but our house has 3 refrigerators that are all full of food and beverages. Yeah, so here's the bathroom that gets talked about a lot.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, so like your basic kids areas are like this huge open area with a bunch of cushions that's fairly clean, might we mention? And whatever, they all have computers, laptops. Like there's tons of technology. They got coloring books. It's like drum sets. Like, dude, it appears like your kids have all the amenities and stuff that they could possibly have. So,
well, all 5 of my kids,
not really.
All 5 of my kids play piano. All 5 of my kids play violin. The oldest 3 play any percussion instrument that you could imagine.
They all have toys galore. Apparently, this is all fucking toys and everything you can imagine as far as that goes.
So that room, if you look up on the shelf there, and I have another angle that I can send you that you didn't see before. I'll do that real quick. But
well, Nick, while you're doing that, what you're saying is though your house seems cluttered, it's also noisy as fuck, right? Because your kids are playing musical instruments as well. Right?
Sometimes, yeah. But that's a good thing, because that's when you know they're actually practicing. It's because sometimes you have to be like, guys, get off your damn iPad and practice piano. Like it's going to take you 10 minutes, but practice piano. But when it's noisy, they're doing what they need to do. And so that's nice. So here's another angle of the same room. I just sent it on Twitter, but if you want to pull it. So this is the Lego display room. And then there's a play kitchen set for our younger kids, and they're really young, they're like cousins who are all toddlers to 6 years old to play. So it's a much younger.
Well, like you said earlier, Nick, so all your kids are homeschooled, right? So obviously when you say
my oldest enrolled in high school this past year at a private school, and so he wanted to complete out high school from a school of sorts, and he was in so many activities that it was like, well, it might as well just do this, and then that kind of freed up our time a little bit. But so he's a full-time student, but the rest of the kids are, they part-time students for stuff like band and choir and speech, and foreign languages, and then the part-time homeschool for their main subjects. But our kids are also very self-directed. So they do English, they do math, they do science, but then they get to really kind of choose what they do for their education. Like both my sons have taught themselves how to code and stuff like that. And, their music is a big part of their education and stuff too, because this is the shit that they're going to do when they grow up. And so we want them to be doing that rather than wasting their time on shitty electives. But yeah, so if you look at,
they got tons of other castle builds, you name it. They got
so these kids have like all the Legos in the world. They have a billion board games. It's embarrassing. I'm like, can we get rid of some of these fucking board games? But they have tons of board games. There's a million activities to do in the house. So it's an environment built really like this house was purchased because we wanted more room for the kids to do more stuff. And our last house wasn't small. This one was just bigger, better laid out, and much nicer property. Like the views out the back are amazing.
Well, yeah, you can even see like just off of the glare of the TV, a bunch of forest and yard, and you got a huge ass garage. Obviously, you got karaoke equipment inside, or a microphone at least.
So yeah, we have a crazy karaoke setup. That's an 85-inch TV, and so like you can see the words for the karaoke.
Right. Yeah, what is that? Naughty Pine?
I probably I don't know.
I think so. Yeah, I mean it's the entire house is beautiful wood, whatever. Just saying, man. It's all very nice stuff. So this is your master bedroom, correct?
Master bathroom. Yeah. So and that's our dog. She hangs out in here. There's a misperception that she is confined to this bathroom space. She's not. She's in there like you would kennel or crate train a dog. So when there's not someone around, like if we have to leave the house or whatever, this is where she goes. This is her room to hang out.
A really nice kennel, and if she shits the floor, then guess what? It's an easy cleanup because it's on tile. So that makes perfect sense.
Yep. And so if you under the right side sink there's two sinks. It's hard to see the one in the back just because of the angle, but there's two sinks. That cabinet under the right side sink is where the drug safe was. It was in there. And I sent you a picture of the drug safe as they found it, if you remember.
Yeah. No, I mean I just have to bounce around because they're not like in a specific order. So we'll get to it.
So, while Quad's doing that, Nick, is it safe to say that maybe the game of Twister was probably one of your child's board game, and maybe the adults decided to be a bit childish that day, right?
No. The Twister was the Twister game did not happen in the house. It happened at a hotel, and
Aaron probably came up with that one anyway, right?
No, that was my Strip Twister was my idea. That's a great fucking idea. It's the most fun.
That's
thing
right.
ever.
He was the one being all awkward because he had a little dinky weenie and he wanted to stay in his little tiny whities. That's
like,
if I remember.
Yeah, I mean, here I am. I'm like knocking April and Kayla over, and I'm like, get naked. what are you trying? You're trying in Twister? That's a stupid idea. You should use your body to knock someone else over.
Right.
And then he's like, yeah, I'm kind of getting uncomfortable. I was like, oh, okay, bye. Like, deuces.
Right.
But no, we have like 5 versions of Twister, and trust me. So just to be very clear, that the children's Twister was not harmed in the making of any stories.
No liquids were spilled on it.
It was not a tainted Twister in any way. So
and no taints were set upon it, you mean? Yeah. So anyway, like I would show pictures of why Aaron doesn't like getting nude, but I don't know if I could show those boobs on screen without getting my channel taken down. So I think the algorithm would probably assume they were ladies' breasts. So we won't do that.
He's a ungainly.
He's got gynecomastia, right?
Yes.
I think so.
I'm going with it.
Yeah,
no, but
it seems like it.
He has a very it's just an unseemly physique. I don't know. It's
noodly.
I don't.
Yeah, we call the goober noodly. That little goober.
I can usually find what people find attractive in someone, or like their preferences. I just don't. I don't really see it with him. I never did. It never made sense to me.
And it's Pride Month, so that's saying double what it usually would mean. So there you go, folks.
There you go.
All right, so this is our drug safe. We've been waiting to see all this time. There it is, huh?
Yeah, it's just a small. It's like a handgun safe that you would put in a car or whatever. It's made to be portable, or to be stored in a small place and quickly accessed. It has RFID keys, so you can just swipe those over the thing and unlock it, or there's a combination, or there's a traditional key. So you have multiple ways to get in.
So Nick, did they go to that safe location first when they went to your home?
Pretty quick.
They knew where they had been told where it was by someone, you think?
I've always suspected it. I could never prove it, but I always suspected it. I do believe that there's discovery that I did not receive about communications that happened prior to the warrant's request and execution, mainly because the head officer kind of alluded to, he said, like, we've been after you for a while. He called April's parents the day we were arrested, and he said, we've been looking into Nick for months, but there's no discovery that was provided about any of this alleged investigation for months. So I'm not sure if he was just like blowing smoke and trying to get someone to talk, or if he was serious and they obscured they may not have provided us all the discovery. But they did not.
Well, I know it probably wouldn't be legal, but let's say Aaron just was like, hey, if he just gave him like, hey, if you go straight into the bathroom right under the right sink, boom. What if they maybe just kind of left out writing that part down on a piece of paper, and we're like, okay, well, we kind of know right where to go, but we're not gonna write that piece of information down. I guess they could probably get away with that kind of shit, right?
They're not supposed to, but it's certainly possible. And it's one of those things that you can speculate on, but you'll never know. So it's not worth thinking about anymore. Early on, I was so fucking mad that I definitely wanted to find out what happened. You want to find out every single thing you can. You want to fight it. There is a strong sense of injustice. I still believe that the warrant, because I believe that there was information withheld from the discovery, I believe that the warrant is invalid, and I don't think they had sufficient probable cause. Because if you think about it this way, and I know this is going to sound really silly, but if someone does cocaine on camera, the presumption is not that there is cocaine remaining, right? Like the cocaine is gone now. So it's if you see someone who has done cocaine, it's hard to say. It's more likely than not that you will find cocaine in their house, because the cocaine that you witnessed is gone at the right. Like, and so it was a strange.
Yeah, George Floyd didn't have any fentanyl, did
he? It's a strange affectation of how drug laws are done in Minnesota, but I think really across the nation, you're punished for possession because they can't punish you for doing them. They have to punish the commercial aspect of it. So either the sale or acquisition of the drugs, or the possession of the drugs is the only thing they can regulate and therefore punish with the Controlled Substances Act. And so if it's a dumb irony that if you just do all the drugs, they can't arrest you. Like they can't charge you with anything if you don't have any drugs. So it's my fault.
Public intoxication or something like that. That would be about it.
You would have to. So in Minnesota, you would have to do some criminal act, like a disorderly conduct, an assault, something like that. To there's no criminal charge for being high on an intoxicant of any kind, or being drunk, like independently. If there's an associated bad behavior, of course you get punished for that, and that's kind of built into those. But you're punished for having them. So it's just a weird thing to think, like, if I would have just done all the cocaine, right, they wouldn't have been able to arrest me. That's crazy. Like that's a strange thing. But because of that, it means that if they saw cocaine on my nose or whatever, they would have no reason to believe that cocaine is in the house, because it's gone at that point. It is done. It's not gonna be there.
Well, I just say all that because I just very well assumed that it was like 100% someone that had been inside of your home that really pointed them out to stuff. So, or told them everything that was going on. That's my assumption, but so be it. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, what, this is a little side bathroom, extra bathroom.
Yes, this is a bathroom that's right by the front door. So the cops found the safe in the master bathroom, and then they took it outside to crack it open. They asked Kayla if she knew where the keys were. She says, I have no idea, which is true. She had no idea where the keys were. I didn't know where the keys were either. And she never remembered the combination. They didn't ask me the combination for the safe. I don't think they asked April the combination for the safe. So they just took it out and they used an axe and a sledgehammer, and they put the axe blade, right in the crevice, and then they just hit it and busted it open. And that's when they found.
And they came back inside and waited and looked at it.
Yeah, then they brought it back into this bathroom, which is right by the front door. So that's
okay, that makes sense.
Why they're in here. My assumption is they didn't want to potentially spread these drugs around the house, like have dust get on stuff on any surfaces, right?
Actually, is this a part of it? The safe?
Yes.
Like a handle or something? The lock.
It's part of the lock. It's like a plastic, like that would go over the batteries.
And then this is the cop's knees and foot.
Yeah, sure. Yep. Nick, I gotta ask you, bud, what in the hell is the KKK on that one bag?
Ketamine?
Yeah, it's ketamine. So if you remember from my mugshot, I have a black eye, and right after my disaster stream, we would be arrested 2 days later. But right after the disaster stream, I went upstairs and I don't remember much of any of this at all. But I was so blasted, and I was like, I'm going to do a huge line of cocaine. And I asked April if she wanted one. She said, yeah. And so I poured out 2 lines on the counter, and they were substantial. And I did mine, and I ended up falling. I didn't remember falling, but I ended up falling. And I hit my face on the counter. So that's why I had the black eye. April came into the bathroom and she's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I don't know. I'm laughing. I'm like, I don't know. Something. I just fell. I'm okay. Don't worry about it. She's like, all right. And she does her line. And she's like, oh, fuck. What is that? What is it? She's like, this isn't Coke. And I was like, what? And she's like, did you pour me a giant line of ketamine? And I was like, oh, fuck. No wonder I just fell over, right? Like I grabbed the wrong bag. And so then it was that from that point on, it was an adventure to try and get to the bed. Did not make it. We did not make it to the bed, fell on the floor of the bedroom and just passed out from, so much ketamine. It was a little ridiculous.
Wow.
She's like,
so you found yourself, is that what they call a K-hole? Maybe that's when you passed out, you were like out of it for a minute. That's a K-hole.
Yeah, it lasts about an hour to an hour and a half. And
fun times.
But it It really is. I mean, it's a hallucinogen, and when you're in those experiences, it's a full body hallucinogen. You feel stuff like your hands and feet, like you feel sensations, they get really fucking wild depending on what's going on. That one was so funny because like we were trying to get back to the bed, but your like legs stop working. They just wiggle, and we just fell over, and she was like yelling at me as she was passing out. She's like, "Fuck you! Can't believe you did this to me," you know. Like, and it was
yeah. Everyone was trying to say you got punched in the face or you got slammed by the cops, but
no,
whatever. I believe your story, man.
The cops were relatively. Most of them were relatively nice, actually. The main cop was a dick, Pomplin, and the thing that was frustrating about him is like he's like, "I got you," and I'm like, I don't know what you got. Like, I didn't know you were after me. I'm not your rival. Like, I don't know who you are at all, right? Like, I'm just here. I didn't know you existed before today. And but he's like, he's like, "I got you." I'm like, okay. So he was kind of a tool. Most of the rest were professional. The like deputy sheriff was there, and he was kind of running everything. He wasn't running the investigation. He was just kind of overseeing what was happening. And people who worked with Kayla and stuff were professional. The only other cop that was a dick was the one who put me in the squad car, because he's like, "All right, we're going," and I'm like, "Wait, like, do I get to say goodbye to my wife like before I go? Like, it's gonna be overnight, I guess." And he goes, "Oh, you should have asked me earlier." I'm like, "What the fuck? I didn't know you were taking me away, you asshole." And so he just turned around and drove off. So I was like, "Well, thanks. That was nice." But that was like a minor thing, but it was just kind of dickish. Like, cause he did it like an asshole. Like that was the
no, I get how cops are, man. I've had cops treat me like shit before, and they're like, "Yeah," like they own you, and it's like, dude, it's like, yeah, okay, you got me, okay, whoop-de-doo. It's been a long time, but yes, I had that experience. Balls deep, letting Nick run wild here is, we'll put your money where your mouth is. You got so many fucking good questions, dude. Jesus Christ,
it's all stuff I've said before. I mean,
yeah, I know,
and
like what?
I don't know. I don't think the story makes me sound particularly good. It's just what happened.
Hey, which one of those?
Yeah, you too, Chris. Yeah, you got really good questions. Why don't you ask every one of them $5 a pop? You guys are so smart and know so much that this guy's lying. Why don't you put your money where your fucking mouth is? Sorry to be side tangent there.
No.
I have to say that though. It's like Jesus.
So real quick, Nick, did you write KKK on that bag?
No, it was one of the women folk who did it.
Okay.
I don't remember which one, but it was after the mix up of the coke and ketamine. It was like, no one will mix it up now.
Right, okay.
So
that explains why there's KKK on that bag then, right?
I see that there's two straws there, a yellow one and a black one. Which one was your straw, and did you ever double shotgun it? One at each nostril.
I never thought to double shotgun it. That would have been amazing.
It's fun.
No, I used whichever one. The one on the right, the darker one is metal, and it was much nicer to use. The plastic one is plastic, and so like if you're not careful with a plastic straw, it can kind of cut up the inside of your nose, which you've already got cocaine in there, so it's already like a little sensitive. But the metal one was really nice to use, so that's the one I would prefer.
The credit cards, are these the credit cards in question that were April's? These look like room keys.
That's a hotel room key.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, April's credit cards they're in a different picture, but they're in the bedroom. Like I said, there's some limits. I'm not gonna show.
Yeah, I get that. That's fine.
Yep.
All right. Big open area downstairs.
The was there. If you go back to that picture real quick, if you look right below the scale there, that wadded up thing, that's the main bulk of the cocaine. There's about 19 grams.
Yeah, I was gonna get to the picture where it shows that the scale. Like I said, once again, there it was. We'll bounce around to it. There we are.
So this is back. This is back at the sheriff's office. They
headquarters.
They weighed it out here, but The final weight from the lab that actually came back was something like 19.6 grams for everything mixed. And that's because they measured the bags with the substances at first. So that's why it came out to 26 grams. But there were 3 small bags and then this corner cut bag was included. So each one of those bags is between 1 and 2 grams. So that's the disparity between what ended up being the final amount of like 19, I think it's 19.6 grams for all of the substances combined and with no bags involved. But that's why.
Right. And whatever. The amount that's in that bag, it seems like a weekend for 3 for sure. Like,
yeah.
It's not an extreme amount of dope right there. So
it's really not. It probably would have lasted us 3 to 4 days, honestly, if we were doing it a lot. It would last much longer if if we weren't just blasting cocaine, right? If like again, if the kids are around and shit, you're not doing a bunch of drugs. But if the kids if they were going with the grandparents for several days, then yeah, that'd be 3 to 4 days of stuff. And I want to remind you that this is the amount that Aaron said was a laptop size amount of cocaine.
Yeah, like a thumb size, you mean? Like a thumb drive, perhaps. Maybe that's what he meant. What Bill Schultz laughingly refers to as a Tuesday afternoon. Whatever. I think we've all done a little bit of dope, and we all kind of are familiar with what's going on here. And no, that's not an extreme amount. And it is kind of funny that they knew exactly where to go to find it. I'm not a huge fan of snitches, man. And that's kind of what I see. That's what I see Aaron as at this point.
He's
and
proud of it now.
You're not perfect, man. Like you fucked up, and I'm sure you would own like all of that stuff.
Yeah,
you fucked up. You lost your kids. That sucks. Now you're paying the price for it, man.
Yeah, I'm keenly aware of how like catastrophic my decisions were, and that they were my fault. Like I know, there's just nothing you can do about it other than to move forward. So people are like, you need to know. It's like, I believe me. I've had a full education in how much I fucked up. I got it.
Do you think it's the streams that you did previously where you were like the trad dad streamer, you were the law tube guy? Do you think people kind of hold that shit over your head?
100%. And
you get extra criticism for what you were before it all went down.
It's tough because I didn't try to tell people how to like live. That's just how I lived. Like this is just what it was. I was a Christian dad with 5 kids who homeschooled the kids, and I was a lawyer, and but I like to laugh at stuff and be a little goofy and drink whiskey. Then I changed. Again, it's been 7 years or almost 8 years now, but that's a long time. People change pretty dramatically over those periods of time. Typically about every 7 years, you're like almost a completely different person. And it happens in this case, it happened kind of really quick at the end of it, but it was a decent chunk of time that people saw me. And so, yeah, they saw 2 different me's. Some of them attribute that to like lying or deception. It wasn't intended to be lying or deception. I just changed right in front of people, and they didn't like the change, and I'm sorry. You get kind of wrapped up in your own things, and like I said, I have tons of explanations as for why I did stuff. They're not excuses. They don't make my behavior okay, but I have reasons for doing it, and people weren't aware of that because a lot of it's still private, and that's fine. That's how it should remain, I think. But if you don't, like, if you're a viewer, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And so then you just, I guess you assume that someone was like lying to you or misrepresenting things the whole time. It's like, well, no, I changed. I made some decisions that I wouldn't have agreed with years before. And they burned me. They were all bad. Like they all turned out wrong. I was originally right. Go listen to the old me. Like listen to that guy. If you want life advice, it's way better than what I ended up doing. Like it was very, very destructive. And I had a lot of fun times, and my relationship with April was really wild, like and cool in a lot of ways. Like I really liked. Well, I mean, I really loved her. That's true. It wasn't this tawdry, gross thing. It was a relationship, and like I didn't expect for anything like that ever. Like that was never on my menu. But then
did you love April almost as much as Aaron loved Kayla? Like him claiming what do you think about all that? Like him claiming how much he loved Kayla like a month or two after the arrest or whatever. He was looking back on Valentine's Day and what he bought her and how special all that shit was.
Yeah. So what I'm not gonna do is like comment on the nature of what anybody else felt like, because I don't know. You can only I can go off of what I read and what was said and stuff like that, but I don't really have any desire to do that, and it's not my place. It's not my story to
Fair
tell.
enough.
That said,
you did have feelings for April. You can get back to that. I just throwing you a curveball. That's all.
No, and it's fine. Like I don't mind the question. It's just like there are lines I have to draw, on what I share, and mine is like I'll share my perspective on things and what I did, and that's the best I can do for people. But it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't tawdry and cheap and gross, and it was very much, it came across like a normal relationship, and no one around us knew. There were some suspicions of what was going on, but the only people who knew anything were people that we, let know. Otherwise, these were just friends that we hung out with all the time. And yeah, like that's it.
Well,
our kids
Nick,
have no idea.
I will say this. Do you kind of now, with hindsight, regret going on this little piggy, or at least with Kiki, and like allowing her to get you so mad? Because
no, I don't regret that at all.
You don't regret that at all? Okay.
No, I have so much worse stuff that I would say to her. There's no point in doing it because she's an empty husk. But no, my entire purpose was served. My purpose was I was going to yell at someone who hurt people that I cared about, and it gleefully continues to hurt both of them over and over and over. I think she's a garbage person.
You just see her as a clout chaser type, or what do you think?
I think the biggest justice is that she married someone who's too old to see her grow up into the withered husk that she calls a mother.
Fair enough.
He'll die before he has to experience that horror.
Oh, Micheline. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Took me a second. I was that way.
Hey, Nick, that Joker portrait behind you there, the Joker, I heard that was worth $75,000. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't sell that yet for cocaine, so you didn't have a problem.
Yeah, good point. So I don't really want to get into your finances, but you're not losing your extra home that was attached, right? That you were trying to sell Aaron. Like exactly how did that work out, or can you comment?
So it's really funny now. The foreclosure thing was embarrassing, but the foreclosure thing was after I got arrested in May. I stopped working, right? Like because of everything that went down, and I didn't know that my auto pay in June on my mortgage failed, and so they canceled the auto pay entirely. So I get a phone call in November. It's like, by the way, you're like way behind on your payments. I'm like, really? Like, what are you talking about? They're like, we haven't gotten a payment since June. I'm like, what the fuck? So then they're like, you're in foreclosure. I'm like, oh shit. I've been going through like a lot of depression stuff because I got arrested and charged with all these drug crimes. It's really been bad news. So I didn't know that was going on. And so I had a couple options. I could sell some investments and like catch the mortgage up and then kind of get back into it. Or I could just sell the other house, which I had wanted to sell like 5 years prior. But we had people who moved in right before COVID hit. They had gotten evicted from their other place. They were friends of ours. And so we're like, oh, you can move into this place. And we were renting it for an absurdly low amount to them. And then they were supposed to stay there for 6 months, and they stayed there for 4 years until we eventually said, we need you guys to leave, because then April and Aaron were going to buy the house. buying the house was another thing where Aaron approached me on it, and he's like, "Hey, that house is great," and blah blah, and April really likes it, and we'd like to talk about getting it. And I was like, "Okay, sounds great. I'll sell my house to my friends. So that sounds awesome." But do
you think his intention was at that point the polycule was going good and he wanted to live right next door to you guys so that he could have April with him and do his live stream and not have to travel back and forth an hour?
I think that
already know he could care less about having his kids.
I
so
think
the hour away from the kids, no problem. Hour away from April, a problem.
Yeah, I think that was it at the start. So that was around February when the talks about the house first started, and then in April, like after April left him, he was still talking to me about buying the house. And I said, "Don't worry about it. Like your marriage is in shambles, brother. You need to work on that because, and not like I think he thought that he would buy the house and like April would then fall back in love with him immediately. And I was like, that's not going to work, you know? So I told him, don't worry about the house at all. Like there's no reason to be doing it. Cause he had said, he's like, I'll just buy that house and I'll sell this one and whatever. And I'm like, you'll just buy that? I'll just buy a house. Like, come on. Let's stop pretending here. He would say weird stuff like that, but yeah. So once they broke up, it was over. But yeah, so then I had that house that was paid off, and I wanted to sell it for years. It was like, sell that house and then just pay off the mortgage, because that's the only reason I had the mortgage in the first place, was because we kept that house instead of selling it right away to help out our friends. And so then it was sell the house and pay off the mortgage on the other home, or I could like again sell some stuff off that was investment stuff and then move money around and catch it back up and then resume payments on the mortgage. But that would have been a real mess since I wasn't working. So it's like, we'll just pay this thing off. And the foreclosure thing was all just shitty timing and me not really checking the mail for several months in a row.
Fair enough.
But
yeah, I know you probably got to take off at this point. So
pretty much got to get going. But if you have a couple of pictures you want me to go through, like, or explain it all, I'm happy to do so.
Yeah, I think we only had just a couple more pictures to go through, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, let's hit them real quick and then I'll.
Yeah, so this is obviously your front room area. The other side of the yeah. So you got two heaters. Is that a wood stove or something? No,
it's just a I don't know what they're called, but like a buffet. It's just a cabinet.
And you just let your kids, that's like the kids' play table, or is that the
no, I mean we keep
kitchen table.
We keep like paper plates and plastic cups and plasticware in there for the kids to, like, if they just need to grab something quick.
Where do you keep the SpaghettiOs?
Behind where the camera is, actually, like where the guy's taking the picture. If you were to turn around and look down, there's a cupboard right there, and that's where the SpaghettiOs are.
The SpaghettiOs, where Aaron spent all of his time pulling out cans of SpaghettiOs and feeding your damn kids, Nick.
He's such a fucking hero with that story. It's so funny. He's like, they were so strung out on cocaine on a bed. I'm like, that's not how Coke works. Like, that's just not true. We were sitting watching Game of Thrones, and my 8-year-old comes up to the bedroom, and she knocks on the door because we're watching Game of Thrones. So you don't want to have kids walking in while someone's getting either sexed or murdered. Yep. And we're just sitting there, and she says, "Hey, can someone help me make SpaghettiOs?" And he goes, "Oh, I got it. I was going to go like get a drink or get food or whatever anyway." So he gets up and goes there. And it's like, "All right, peace." And he comes back, 5 minutes later, because he made SpaghettiOs. It doesn't take that long. And then the story he tells is like, "Oh man, they're all strung out on the bed and they can't move." It's like, what are you talking about? You fucking insane person. But
shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you got 1 billion books for your kids and shit to read, and magic cards and everything else.
We have 2 libraries. This is the one right outside my office, and then my office has another set of a comparable set of shelves,
like a law library for yourself or something.
No, I don't. All that's online now. I have.
You get a return to law?
No, no.
Never.
It's too much work, man. This is way better.
how about getting your bar?
I'll get my license back. Yeah. Once things settle down, I'll do my CLEs. I have to have like a week to do them because it's 45 hours. And what I want to do is I'll need to do 45 hours and then 45 hours for the next session. So I'm done with it for the next couple of years. So I need 90 straight working hours to really hammer it out.
There's the sheriff.
Yeah, there's the sheriff in the mirror there taking the picture.
Okay, and whatever. I mean, we were looking at the image, the EMIGs earlier, and of course, this helps bolster the claim that the pictures are from the arrest. Obviously, the cop's knees and the other picture after they busted your safe. It's very obvious when and where these pictures were taken. So
yeah, and if you want to share my screen one more time, I'll go through every one of the pictures real quick, and just people can then they can go and frame by frame if they want and see the EXIF data on it. I don't like it doesn't matter to me, but
actually, let me do that real quick too. Just give you a shout out. Everybody, if you don't know where to find Rekieta Law, there's his YouTube page right there. And of course it's at Rekieta Law, is the @ for the channel. And, that's not what I was trying to do. Stop doing that. I was trying to do this. There you go.
Yes,
and those are all the other places that you can find where he is at. So there you go. Locals, Twitter, Twitch, Odyssey, Teespring, whatever. Merch, you got it all there. So everybody go check it out. Let's do that.
Yeah, so earlier, Nick, the reason why I was asking whether you would release the body cam footage is because you've already taken the step by showing these photos. You might as well, at this point, go to full hog and show everything. But I understand the reason.
I might as well not, because again, my wife and kids are in the video, and the video goes into their private spaces and my private spaces, and so I'm not going to, and I'm not going to release part of it either because my claim is that those are private things, and if I were to release even part of it right now, I would be reducing. So I'm not.
Besides that, if he shows the full hog,
well,
it is Pride Month, honk. Chill out, man.
Oh yeah.
So okay, just for everybody, I'm just gonna breeze through these pictures. If you look right here on the right side, it's got the date taken, 5/23/24, and the time. And so I'm just gonna go, and we'll just go one picture at a time here, and people can take a second and look at each one. Pause it and verify. These are all taken around the same time, 9:30ish a.m. on the 23rd. None of them were taken on the 24th or 25th or 26th. In fact, they keep talking about this time that CPS came back in and took a bunch of pictures. CPS never did that. That's not a thing that happened. CPS came back, obviously, and did tour the house. The only thing they took a picture of is we had a decommissioned hand grenade that Caleb bought at a thrift shop because it was cool for a paperweight. And they're like, we think that might be a weapon. We have to check. It's like, stop being retarded. There's no explosives in there. But that's it. But you can see all of these have the same rough time of taking. I know this is a little laborious, but
well, Nick,
it's good to show. It's on the record. It's on anyway. I guarantee someone will probably clip it and zoom in on it. That's how it works.
They should. I mean, that's why I'm doing it, is so that everybody can see. This one's at 10:16 a.m. It's a little bit later than the others. They didn't once they found the safe pretty early. They didn't crack it right away. But yeah. So there you go. That's all of them. Again, anybody who wants to say that these are from some follow-up visit where they took pictures, that didn't happen. I don't know what to tell you about any of that. That's just not a thing.
Well, Nick, back to you. You said hand grenade, right? I believe at one point, didn't you say there was a shotgun shell from like a piece of art?
There's there are 22
I watched
caliber.
you. Yeah, I watched you break that down, and you got that little flower thing. Exactly. Here, let's
right
pull you up
here.
full screen.
It's this
Exactly.
little
That's what it is, yeah.
this little plant. It says "Wanna Bang" on it. Caleb bought it for me a while back. And then the so the flower blooms are they're bullets that have impacted like metal, and so they bloom out like this. And then the 22 shells are the dirt for the plant. So that's all it was. It was on my nightstand and it got knocked over, and I just missed picking up 2 of the shells.
It's so funny, all the conspiracy. We're done looking at those pictures.
Yeah, I went through all of them. So.
Yeah, all the conspiracy theories everybody was trying to make up about the 22 shells. Like, oh, is Nick just getting high on coke and like shooting all around like a cowboy? And or a lot of people were speculating like some people mix gunpowder with cocaine. I guess there is some weird thing that people do, and they were trying to say like you were pulling 22 shells apart to dump the
people
gunpowder.
That was fueled a lot by one of the things that was confiscated was listed as a mysterious brown substance. They didn't know what it was. They still don't. They don't know. It was DMT, but DMT isn't really detectable. It's not something that like they know how to test for. So they had some DMT, but I guess that that mixture of gunpowder and cocaine comes out like dark, obviously, because gunpowder is dark. And so there is speculation that it was something like that. But no, it was just DMT that I had acquired, but I never got to try, which makes me sad.
All right. If you want to stay, we got a couple super chats to read. Other than that, it's probably
I would, but I'm like 50 minutes past when I was gonna go. So I appreciate it, guys, and thanks.
Yeah,
for
you gave us way more time than you said. You said an hour. You've been here for like 2 hours, so thanks a lot, man.
But invite me back sometime because I hate cutting visits short. It's just I'd also promised Kayla that I would hang out with her tonight. And
no worries, brother. Appreciate it.
I'd be a husband for
very
a
much.
Nick.
I guess from time to time.
Nick,
go enjoy your
it's been
family.
fun. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Peace, and to everybody in the chat there. Have fun with it, man. I hope you guys enjoy my misery. It's been quite a fucking ride. All right,
So far, so good.
Catch y'all later. Peace, guys.
Later. Peace. All right, we got that poll question. We wrapped that thing up. Worst alcoholic in the Dabbleverse, Mr. Kill Everything, 45%. Boom. A couple hundred votes there, so that's a pretty good cross section. Chad Zumach, 20%. Ski Mask 20, Karmic X 12. Karmic X, I'm surprised. Up against fucking Chad and Ski Mask. Yeah, I guess so. All right, Mr. Kill Everything, you are the winner. I mean, wait, loser? Is that?
Yeah.
Is it?
Not only that, Quad Ski Mask ain't going to be happy that Chad Zumach beat him in a poll.
Maybe Ski Mask can be happy he can beat a poll. Finkelstein Shit Kid, $2. I drank for 7 years daily, Nick. I too drank for 20 years at least, probably daily. Yeah. Let me think. 20 through 35. Yeah, probably 15 years. Let's say 15. Consist every day for 15 years. Yeah. I too am an alcoholic. I can call myself that. Was reformed. Nice podcast, stupid Dan. What up, homie? $2. Thank you, sir. Oh no, a house with 5 kids is messy. Noel's a crate. That's kind of what I'm getting at, man. Like, dude, when you look at the fact that the guys, there's like 7 people living in a house, it's like, yeah, you're laundry is a shocker. I've lived with 2 people that had mountains of fucking laundry, dude. Like pathetically disgusting amounts of laundry. So it adds up if you don't fucking wash it. I don't know if you people are aware of that. And I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying the obvious, the state, the obvious. Finkelstein Shake Kid, thank you very much, sir. $5. Nick, I understand not wanting Melton to lust over your kids. Why not edit them out along with you, wife, girlfriend, and show the rest of the body cam to disprove everyone? Disprove what? What is it that you want to disprove, Finkelstein Chicken? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by disprove. So much to disprove. I mean, we just saw everything he was busted for, right? Like, what else is there? Like, do you need to show more than the KKK bag and the dope, the coke? I think that's like plenty.
It's weird though, Quad. I understand Nick's reasoning, but I'm like, well, if you're going to show those photos, you might as well at this point blur your wife's face and your kid's face.
Well, what are you, Hillary Clinton or something? At this point, what difference does it make?
Yeah, fair enough.
Articulate John, $2. Looks like Gene Hackman's house. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about? Well, there's no dead dog in a kennel. I mean, if that's any consolation. And whatever, man. I'm not here to what do they call? Run anything for Nick. Like, I just see, actually I wanted to be more pissed off at Nick, to be fair. I wanted to be more pissed off at him when I heard the description of what the house looked like and whatnot. Then he sent me all the pictures yesterday, and I looked through them, and I was like, oh, this just looks like every other American family house in all of America. Like, it's not with 5 kids. It's like, goddamn, with 5 kids, considering that, it's actually clean. Keeping his whatever. The way Aaron made it sound, it made it seem like we were going to see like a bomb went off in their house and there was shit everywhere. And it was like, these pictures aren't showing that. And they weren't prepared for like a house visit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, would you guys agree or disagree? I want to hear what you guys think on that too.
Well, no, I think that he had one room there that was really questionable. All right. And it could be a bad day. It could be whatever. I know there's a lot of people there. And it sounds like, though, the real goods were up in his bedroom. The stuff he's not releasing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I imagine there might have been some other filth in areas we didn't see. That's his prerogative. But yeah.
Well, I will say this. I know that a few people with loads of kids, and they got messy houses. However, they also didn't get charged with having cocaine. So, there is that.
And God damn it, if they were doing cocaine, they at least kept that house spotless.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. The Chugi Show Live, $5. Oh, yeah. Sleeping with someone not your spouse is never tawdry or gross. Good Lord. Yeah, I mean, that is the gross part, really. Yeah, sleeping around. Okay, so here's the question, guys. Is it okay to sleep around with on your own lady? Is it okay to sleep around on your old lady, but not share your old lady? Isn't that kind of what everyone wants? Guys want to get out there and get laid, but they don't want their old lady fucking getting fucked. That's where it comes. Well, that's where we draw the line. We don't want to share the old lady, right?
Yeah, of course. But then again, I'm not the type of person. Well, look at me. Like, I'm not getting any other fucking thing than what I've already got, right? Clearly, because I look like this, right? But not only that, if you aren't, that's why when Nick said about that going to that resort, right? And he was like, but we didn't go there to swing. It's like, well, then what's the point? That's why I said, like, it's like going to a theme park and not going on any of the rides. It's like, it's pointless at that point, right? Because that's what everybody knows that place for, So, like,
right. And
then Nick went on that diatribe of like, well, actually, that's a good nightclub. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And whatever. A lot of people have said, we'll see what Meme Copium has, because Meme Copium apparently has some interview lined up with Drex. We'll see if that ever happens, and we'll hear from Drex himself instead of being like, "Hey, Nick, what about this Drex character? Like, what happened with that?" And it's like, how about we'll let that dude get interviewed, and then we can commentary on it later. Keanu C. Thompson, $5. Thank you, Keanu. Nikki got mad because he knew I was right. Whippets couldn't even calm his nerves. We zoomed in on that kitchen counter. It was all like those water, not jugs. What am I thinking? Whatever. What are those things called? God damn it. Yetis. Like
bottle?
they're Yetis. Like the Yeti bottles. Whatever. I don't think those were Whippet bottles. But you could be right, Keanu. I have no proof that he's not doing Whippets. They probably don't show up on. There's all kinds of drugs that really. He just said DMT doesn't show up on a test. I think you can do acid. It doesn't show up on any test. I think there are a few drugs that don't show up on drug tests. So just saying. Yule Gibbons, $2. What up, Yule? Have you let your daughter try the Galaxy Gas yet? He's not here, so who knows? Who knows? No, she only does cocaine. Sorry, buddy. Finkelstein Shit Kid, $2. Suck a dick, Quad, charging them back. Damn it. You got me. You guys always win. I see Balls Deep going ape shit in the chat too. That's hilarious. Hey, Balls Deep, just a FYI. This morning I thought about fucking with Aaron about missing the goal. But guess what? Every time I go into that chat and say something about him missing the goal, he chips in money. I didn't say a word. We missed the goal by a hundo. Who's playing who? Dum-dum. Yeah. Gotcha, Balls. And you didn't even know it. I know you. I know you, boy. I got your fucking number. I got your fucking number, Balls Deep, and there ain't shit. You could give all your money to Aaron now, boy. Tomorrow. Why don't you give him all your fucking money, chump?
Or better yet, give us super tips right up there, Balls Deep.
Before we get out of here, we would love to mention a couple channels real quick. Hey, what do you got going on, brother?
Hey, well, you know that we'll be back this Saturday with 2 Old Farts once again, and I'll be back Wednesday night on this here channel to do another episode of BYB, and I can't imagine how we can top tonight's show for guests, but we'll see.
And of course, Rochi, what do you got with that? The pineapple boy, the real fruit for gay month.
Nothing, Quad. If everybody thinks that I'm an idiot, don't go and follow this guy because he's probably just as much of an idiot as I am. But yeah, cheers.
What do you mean? What? This is how you're going to start promoting your show by calling yourself an idiot?
Yeah, of course. I don't recommend it.
I had to fight my whole life. I could beat you up even if you had 1,000 knives. Even if you had infinity knives, I would punch you up into the air like a kite. I bet you sleep with the night light, cause you're scared of the dark, cause you stink like a fart. Well, I like your fart on fire with my rhymes. You think I won't? I do it all the time. I bet I got more money than Jay-Z. Compared to me, Jay-Z is lazy. Plus Beyonce thinks that I'm cute. It's okay, Beyonce, I think you're cute too. I made out with so many girls. Made out with every girl in the world. I might look small, but I'm not. I don't care if you're big, I'll fight you. Well, I do know that I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stats, I bet you that she calls. Cause I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stacks, I bet you that she calls.